Hello, we're live. Pep Talk UK, live watch along for Denzel Bentley versus Felix Cash. I'm joined by J Alby. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, share with all your friends, get involved in the conversation as ever. Jay, how are you?
I'm great, thank you, Joe. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks. Really looking forward to a good night of boxing. A great main event, I'm sure you'll agree. And
Yeah.
great to see Callum Johnson back out and heavyweight prospect David Adelaide. What are you looking forward to, Jay?
I'm looking forward to the David Adelaide fight because he's got a good opponent. Although I looked at his record earlier, he's got a record of 10 wins, 21 losses, and 2 draws.
Mm,
But he has knocked out Nick Webb, so
yep.
I
And
think
he's
it's a
only been
step up
knocked
for
out
him.
himself 3 times.
Yeah, I saw that 3 times, so I think that'll
Mm,
be a great fight. Callum Johnson, 2 years out, his last fight against Sean, what was it, Monaghan?
mm,
So
yep,
I
I
think
believe
it'll
so.
be a good fight, and I think he's going to get the winner of Arthur versus Yard if they rematch, which Frank Warren said. So that's a big fight tonight, and obviously the main event,
Mm.
Denzel Bentley versus Cash. So I think that's a 50-50 top fight.
Yeah, definitely. We got the British and Commonwealth middleweight
Yeah,
title on the line. And there's a bit of needle, which we always like. Frank Warren fighter in Denzel Bentley versus a Eddie Earn fighter in Felix Cash. What are your general thoughts on the fights, Jay? On the fight, Jay? But how do you think?
I
How
think
can you see it going?
it's definitely a 50-50 fight. Cash is very aggressive, and Bentley's good with the jab. So it'd be interesting on that. What would happen with the
Mm,
aggression of Cash? But Bentley's slick. He had Heffron in his last fight, made him stop by referee stoppage due to the bad eye. It's just a fight I'm really looking forward to, really. Like you say, 50-50, great British and Commonwealth title fight, and it's good for the fans.
yeah, no, definitely, definitely. I think it's certainly a fight where the winner will kick on to maybe move on to European level. They've mixed at the one of the like domestic level, and it's time to see who is probably the best domestically. We've obviously got Liam Williams in the middleweight division, British, and he went out to America last week and had a fantastic effort against Liam Williams. I'm sure against Demetrius Andrade. I'm sure you'll agree, but
Yeah.
for either fighter, Jay, where do you think they can go if for the winner?
I think it's a fight where both fighters can still go forward even with a loss. It's like, the
Mm,
Groves and the Gal fight, which everyone always goes back to, that 50-50
yep.
pinnacle of their career fight. The loser went on to win a world title still. So I wouldn't be too disheartened. It's because it's a bit of a grudge match. The loser's going to feel a bit sore tomorrow, but come back Monday, back at the gym, and then go for it again. Like, I think either one of them come back European, maybe a world title challenge in the future. So yeah, I think they can both
No,
go on to good things.
they're two very talented British boxers, definitely.
Yeah,
And just looking at it, it is one of them fights where I think style wise it will just gel, and
yeah.
it's a big prediction, but I think we could be in for a really really good fight here. And could you possibly see it going the distance, or do you reckon the fight will get cut short?
Ooh. I'll be honest with you now. I think there's going to be
Mm,
two possibilities. I see this fight going. I was thinking about this earlier, actually.
okay.
Obviously, it's going to go one way or the other, maybe a draw. But I think it's
Mm,
going to go down to how aggressive Cash is going to be in this fight.
yeah.
Because if he comes too, he's an aggressive fighter anyway, which I like. That's a great style. But with someone like Bentley, who's too sharp, as his name says, you're coming at him and he's hitting jabs at you, and that it's going to be a
Mm,
difficult night. And I think they've had a grudge match in the gym. That's where all this
mm,
like bitterness has come from. Maybe it's
yeah.
down to the styles. Maybe Bentley was a bit slick because even though Bentley's talking about it in the build-up, I feel like Cash is talking about it a little bit more, like being a bit
Mm,
more aggy about it. And I just feel like Bentley probably stood his ground in the gym, and Cash didn't like it because just coming from their personalities, Cash is very aggressive, in-your-face kind of person, says it as it is, and Denzel's quite cool, calm, relaxed, and maybe in the gym it just didn't, it just clashed. So yeah, I think it's
yeah.
either going to be a Cash finish due to his pressure, or
Yeah.
the aggression will be his downfall. And I think
Mm,
that Bentley will pip him off for a 12 round points victory. So either Cash knockout, or I think Bentley on points.
yeah. No, good. I can understand that definitely, Jay. We see, obviously, Felix Cash is a very, very aggressive fighter. So let's get your predictions in, guys. It's going to be a great night of boxing, as we say. Got a fight going on now as we speak, and as the next fight, we'll start talking about the fights more. And Jay Zeno says Bentley round 6 TKO. So that's a possibility, because if we see Denzel Bentley being too slick, he may just work Cash down. But if we just look at resume wise, who do you think has the better resume so far, Jay? So we look at like Felix Cash, his last few fights, Jason Welball, Jack Cullen. Then we look at Denzel Bentley, who obviously he got the draw, and then what beat Mark Heffron, didn't he? And then he's beat the likes of Mick Cool, Adam Graybeck. Who do you think has the better resume there?
I think because I don't know, it's one of them fights where I think they're probably pretty much at the same level due to opponents. I don't know if you agree with me. Apart from the Wellborn and Cullen, before that, Cash's opponents have been pretty basic. Apart from the two Heffron fights, before that, Bentley's fights have been pretty. I think they're at the right level right now. I think they're both at the same level. The Wellborn victory, KO in the 5th round, that's a good win for Cash. Wellborn fought for a world title. Jack Cullen, that's a good victory as well in the 8th round stoppage. You got Heffron.
And it was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a great fight. Yeah, that was a great fight. Yeah, I did enjoy that. I do like Jack Cullen. He's in good fights. With Bentley, Heffron with the draw in the first fight and then the win in the second fight. I saw Cash was saying something that he wasn't impressed with the last victory because the ref stopped it. And I saw Bentley was saying, but why did he stop it? It's because I punched him in the eye. That's the whole point of boxing. Yeah. So I was like, that made me giggle, that did. But you got to give props to the fighter who made the referee stop the fight. Do you know what I mean? He had a bad eye due to his punches. So I think it was a great victory. It's one of them fights, isn't it? It's just one of them. I'm really going for this fight tonight. I'm really up for it. So I couldn't really predict the winner. Like I said, I could see Cash winning by knockout, but I could see Bentley pipping him to a points victory after 12. But Denzel Bentley does have 12 knockouts in 14 fights. So the guy's got a bit of power.
Definitely. I think maybe even Bentley's power has been underestimated in this fight in the build-up, because it's a lot's been made about boxing, slick, obviously sharp as his name goes, and then aggression, Felix Cash. But again, I think Cash is slick with his aggression. I think it's accumulated aggression, and that is for me what's key in this fight. As long as he takes his time with his aggression and is calculated, that could accumulate. But then again, we just don't know how slick and sharp Bentley is, which for me is what makes it such a fantastic fight.
Yeah, something happened in the gym, and just going by their personalities, I think it was something that Cash didn't like, just by their personalities. Just because Denzel's quite cool. When they're talking about it, he's like, "Yeah, you were dirty in that," but to Denzel, it just seems like it's just boxing. But Cash keeps saying, "Oh yeah, this happened, that happened." He couldn't even remember how many rounds they sparred. Bentley knew how many rounds they sparred. I just feel it's a bit of mind games. He's trying to get into Bentley's head a little bit. I don't know. I agree with you. His aggression is very calculated, but if it's one of them fights where he's too invested in it, in the mind games, emotionally, when you get to these sort of levels in these big fights, it shows you who's the creme de la creme. They can keep their nerves, keep their emotions in check, keep cool, keep calm. It's just a great fight. Like you say, it could go anyway. That's it. I'm just really looking forward to this.
No, I echo those words, Jay. And guys, if you're joining the stream now, make sure you hit that like button, tell your friends about this, and just get involved, really. It's as we say, it's a brilliant fight. It's a 50-50 fight. So let us have your predictions, and we will go through them. In other news today, just while we're waiting for the next fight on the card, did you see, Jay, that Ryan Garcia has pulled out of his fight against Fortuna? Did you see that?
I haven't seen it, but to be honest, I'm glad he has.
I will show you this, and apparently it is because of his physical and mental well-being. He's taking some time out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't. So I said I was glad that he pulled out, but I didn't know that they were the reasons. I was glad he pulled out because I was disappointed in the opponent he was fighting. But If it's down to them reasons, then I hope he makes a speedy recovery.
Yeah, no, this is what it says on his Instagram, Ryan Garcia. I know this news may be disappointing to some of my fans, but I am announcing today that I am withdrawing from my July 9th fight. At this time, it is important to manage my health and well-being. I have decided to take some time off to focus on becoming a stronger version of myself. I hope to be back soon, and I'm looking forward to stepping back into the ring when I am at my healthiest self. I want to thank God, my family, my doctors, and my supporters. So obviously, there's a lot to look at there, and it's interesting news that. So, what do you make of that, Jay, after hearing that statement for the first time?
I think that I'm shocked, but then I'm kind of not shocked considering the lifestyle he leads. He's got a big TikTok background. He's big on social media. When you're a young star like that, like a young superstar, I don't know what people he's got around him, but I'm sure it's about having the right team. And I don't know if he has the right team, right people around him. I know he's with Canelo and Canelo's team and that, but outside of the boxing team, like I don't know what he's doing. And like I say, I wish him a speedy recovery, especially when it comes down to stuff like that. He's only a young guy. He's got a great career ahead of him. I was really frustrated with the opponent he was going to fight. I wanted him to fight Devin Haney. He's the mandatory for it. It doesn't make sense that when you're a mandatory for a world title, you're not fighting for the world title. So on that, I was a bit disappointed he was fighting that guy. But it's bigger than boxing when you've got personal issues like that. And it's a shame because he's a great fighter. We saw him in the Luke Campbell fight. He got off of the canvas, got back up, won in great fashion. I hope you have a great recovery, Garcia, because he's a good young fighter and it's a shame.
Yeah, he's certainly got a great career ahead of him, it looks. And he's so young. So this time out, hopefully it won't affect him too much. And he could become a much better fighter for the timeout. And hopefully we will get these big fights, because I remember after the Campbell Garcia fight, everyone was talking about the new four kings of the lightweight division, and everyone was going mad about it. And these fights just haven't materialized, which is a shame. Like, we obviously had Garcia Fortuna, not happening now. Davis, he's moved up 2 weight divisions since his last fight out. You've got Linares Haney and who we got Lopez against Cambosos Jr. So obviously that was a mandatory, I believe, wasn't it? Lopez's fight. Yeah.
He beat Selby, didn't he?
Yeah, in a close fight. Again, that was a close fight. So, and obviously they're making a lot of money because obviously Triller won the purse bids for that.
Apparently it was like 3 or 4 times more than what Matchroom bid for it.
Yeah. No, I think what was reported was around 6 million or something like that, wasn't it?
Crazy.
So imagine if Lee Selby had won the fight. Lee Selby, it would have been big money, but yeah. So I just hope they do fight each other, and
what's your opinion on Garcia's situation, Joe? Like, you know, him fighting Fortuna when he's a mandatory for Devin Haney. Like, everyone's saying about the 4 kings. This is what I'm saying. Garcia, I don't know what's going on with his management team. Tank's gone up a couple of weight divisions, but in his last fight, he fought Santa Cruz. Then he's going to fight someone else. He's fighting people that's going to build his name up. Haney, he's fighting Linares. He's a multiple world champion. Do you know what I mean? A great fighter. Although Haney would have fought Garcia next because that's what he wanted. I just don't know. And then obviously Lopez is fighting Cambosos Jr. for the world title as well. But on that decision, I'm so shocked when everyone's fighting. Look at Dillian White waited 3 years for a world title fight. You're a mandatory, and you're saying when you fight someone decent, I'll fight you. Like, Haney's the world champion. Like, that really baffles me. When you're a boxer or in anything in your sport, you want to get to the pinnacle of that sport. You've got the opportunity, and you're saying, "Nah, I'll fight someone else." And you're telling me that Fortuna was a bigger name than Devin Haney. It's like, I personally think it's because Devin Haney beat him in the amateurs a couple of times, and obviously that's going to play on your mind. That's the only reason why I think that he hasn't fought him. But I just wanted your opinion to think. Did you think that was a weird choice of fight?
Personally, I think it all come to stops with this fight. I don't think it happened because if you remember, probably maybe a couple of months ago now, Garcia he confirmed on his Instagram that he was fighting Pacquiao. And they were apparently this fight with Pacquiao was confirmed. But obviously it didn't materialise in the end, which I thought was a very, very strange situation. So he was putting it out there that he's fighting Pacquiao. So then I think that just timing-wise, Haney moved on. And then I don't know what happened with management. So then I know Haney was looking at Linares, and then for a while Lomachenko was a possibility. They were trying to bring Lomachenko in, and then in the end, it obviously was confirmed that is Jorge Linares. So I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like there just might be a timing thing, and obviously we don't know what is going on with the management. But to me, from an outsider's point of view, it looks like it would make sense. They're both the zone fighters, Golden Boy and Matchroom. They both fight on the zone. So I really don't know what happened there, but it's interesting. It's an interesting division. It's an interesting little scenario going on there. But the one good thing about it is they're young.
Yeah.
So there is time. It's not like, for example, Spence and Crawford, where they're heading into their 30s now, and we want the fight to happen. At least we've got. Well, don't get me wrong, I'd love them to all happen now, but at least we've got a bit of moving space. And that is why I'm not really annoyed about it. But it's interesting. It's a really interesting topic, that. And obviously it is a shame that we don't get to see Ryan Garcia out, whether that's Fortuna, whether that's anyone. I personally think I thought Fortuna would have actually gave Garcia a good fight. That's why I was shocked about it.
I'm shocked just because I think Campbell's better than Fortuna, and he can't. I know Campbell put him down in the first round, and Campbell's a good fighter. But I think Campbell's better than Fortuna, and in the end, Garcia with that, I thought he looked a different level to Luke Campbell. So I just think he was going backwards. I think maybe a fight before Luke Campbell, that would have been a good fight. But when you beat someone like Luke Campbell, you go to the world title, and he's got a world title there. I've never heard of a mandatory not wanting to fight for their world title. That's what baffles me. I've never really seen that before. If there's other fighters out there that have done it, then get your comments in and let us know. But everyone's fighting for a mandatory, and then he's got one, and he's just not even taking it. So it just confused me. That was all. But Tank Davis is fighting everyone who's put in front of him. Lopez is, Haney is. I just wanted Garcia. He's more of the social media. He likes to say a name just to get people talking about it. It might not be true or not, like the Pacquiao. That was never going to happen. Never going to happen. Pacquiao wasn't going to fight him, so.
No. Yeah, that's what I was baffled with when that fight got announced. And we just see here, just quickly going back to tonight's boxing, David Adelaide versus Sokolowski is about to start. Big step up for Adelaide. And it's a solid opponent. Just as the fight starts, what's your opinion on this, Jay? This fight, do we think Adelaide gets a stoppage here?
I think Adelaide gets a stoppage here, yeah, definitely. Maybe 1 or 2 rounds. Looking at the opponent's record, like you say, he's only been knocked out 3 times out of 21 losses. He has KO'd Nick Webb, but I think this guy's definitely at the end of his career now. And if he's took a few losses, well, more than a few losses, double figures twice. So,
in the 20s,
in the 20s. So it's a step up. I think it'll be a good night for Adelaide, definitely.
Yeah, no, I really intrigued me, this fight. I must admit, I think it's definitely Adelaide's toughest test. Here we go. Leighton Evelyn says round 1 knockout, and that would show some serious power from David Adelaide, and that would bounce him onto the domestic heavyweight scene.
Well,
with so few fights.
Come on strong. He's right in Adelaide's face, but I've got some information here. The opponent for Adelaide has lost to Cash Ali twice, lost to Nathan Gorman twice, lost to Dillian White, lost to Sam Sexton, lost to Tom Little, lost to David Price, lost to Lucas Brown, and lost to Bacoli. So,
but they are good heavyweights. They're
that's
good heavyweights.
Big names.
And he's been in with them. That's brilliant. And
some of them twice.
He's got the W. Exactly. And he's got the W over Webb. And we just see Webb get the fantastic win a couple of weeks ago against Pfeiffer.
Exactly.
And if you haven't watched it, great interview with Webb on Pep Talk, I believe, that come out this week. I believe there was a interview. So so make sure you watch that if you haven't, guys.
Oh,
we go here.
Good. It's a good first round here, Joe.
It's really good.
He's in Adelaide's chest. He's coming forward. He's not backing away.
He's on the front foot.
I've not seen Adelaide on the back foot before, so it's interesting.
No, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he calculates the shots. I think he's looking for that big over the top right hand at the minute. He's just sizing it up.
And he's a former kickboxer as well. There's I think his name's Sokolowski, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an ex-kickboxer as well. Oh, big right hand there by Adelaide.
I
think Adelaide needs to settle down and start using his jab here. He's a bit panicky by the looks of it.
Yeah, see, misses with that uppercut ledge. It's okay. I'm not worried about Adelaide by any means so far. He just needs to settle into the fight. He's never been under pressure because this is probably the most pressure he's been under in his professional career so far, because he's never had to face anyone that's been on the front foot like Sokolowski has been.
Yeah, I think. Oh, it's good feint there. Oh, Adelaide's a bit predictable with the right hand. He's not using the jab to work off. He's just looking to pop the right hand in then when he gets close. But I agree. I think he needs to win this fight in fashion because, like I said, Nathan Gorman's beat this opponent twice, and he's calling for the Gorman fight. So it's a similar opponent. So I think he needs to go for a big winner.
Sokolowski looks a bit susceptible to a body shot here. I wonder if Adelaide dips down for a body shot. That's he's going for the uppercuts, but they're just not landing yet. There you go.
But like you say, Joe, he's the perfect opponent for this stage in his career. He's a rough and tough type of opponent. And it's a good first round. I think that's probably his hardest round he's had in his career.
Oh, definitely.
5 fights.
Yeah, no. And as well, fantastic matchmaking. So I've got to give that to Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotion. That was really good matchmaking. And it's a fight. Well, I was looking at it earlier. I was doing a bit of research about the fights. Obviously, I know about this fantastic fight, Bentley against Cash Laters, but I just wanted to go into a bit of depth for some of the undercard fights. And this one just really stuck out to me. And just great test such early on in the career. And it's all about timing as well, because we see Sokolowski, obviously, he's had a lot of losses, but very rarely been knocked out. He hasn't been knocked out in a few years, I believe, as well. No. I don't think so. We shall see again how much he's got left in the tank and what's his chin like. It looks good because there was one big right hand landed in the first round from Adelaide, and he took it well. And if you look, Sokolowski's out for the second round before Adelaide there. He's really game.
The only way Adelaide's going to stop this is if he pits one on him to make him think about it. Do you know what I mean? Adelaide, he needs to work off the jab. I believe that everything comes off the jab, so I think that he needs to maybe throw a double jab in there, just a double, or even a jab to the face and a jab to the body. Change it up a bit, like you say. He's open to the body shot, so. Oh, he's hitting with a big right here.
Yeah, they're engaging now.
Shot there by Adelaide. I'm shocked by Adelaide. I'm shocked at that. I don't know. Like we say, we've never seen him on the back foot before, so I'm a bit baffled. Like I'm watching some of these styling actions and that, and it's a complete contrast to his other fights.
I think
it's the level of the opponent. Like you said.
Exactly, and I think at the minute he's just like adjusting
to he took
that
a
level.
Big right.
Oh, he has as well.
Adelaide's took a big right. I don't know if he's held on.
Hurt.
Yeah, he looks hurt, and he's pushed the guy away.
Yeah, pushed him off there. Yeah, he looked shocked there. That might just give him that warning that, look, I'm a game opponent. I'm here to beat you. This is probably the first opponent that he's been given that is there to win, which is big. So we see here action slowing down. Looks like Adelaide now has realised that he needs to kind of get behind that jab now.
He probably looked at him and thought, yeah, 21 losses. Oh, big left hand by Sokolowski there.
Oh, he's dipped down. Yeah.
Oh, Adelaide comes back, just misses with a left hook of his own. Yeah, this is a good fight here, Joe.
Really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Great action. Let's know what you think, guys. BG London says, not a walk in the park for Adelaide. Certainly not at the minute. He looks under quite a bit of pressure. Leighton Evelyn says, it's Dubois 2.0. Bad matchmaking by Frank. I think it's good matchmaking. It's early on, and I still think Adelaide will definitely come through this. Well, not definitely. No one knows in boxing, but
it's great matchmaking. Like you said, Joe, it's great matchmaking. Look at the record I said earlier. He's fought Cash Ali twice and lost. Nathan Gorman twice, Dillian White, Tom Little, David Price, Bacoli, Lucas Brown. The guy's a good opponent, and I don't think it. And let's be honest, he's lost to all these opponents. So if David Adelaide wants to go to the next level, he's got to be beating this guy. But it's a good fight. This shows Frank Warren if he's the real deal. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, and it's a good building block, because even if he didn't perform fantastic here, Adelaide caught again there just at the end of the round, in the round of 2. It's good building block for Adelaide, because it will give him a lot to work on in the gym. So and you'll be able to see what his downfalls are, how he can work on it, so he can build up to be obviously the world-class fighter he aspires to become and believes he will become. He's calling out Nathan Gorman.
Nowadays, Joe, a lot of these fighters nowadays are failing at world level, because let's be honest, they're fighting tin cans till they get there. Come on, like, you need to start having hard fights before you get to world level. And this is what happened in boxing for the last 10 years with the people. They've skipped the queue. They've got a few followers. They might beat one half decent person, and they're skipping the queue. Look at Ricky Hatton. Was it 25 fights before British title? The guy was hardened before he got there. Like, I know they try and rush people nowadays and that, but if David Adelaide's fighting tin cans up to his 10th, 11th fight, when he gets to a Nathan Gorman, he's going to get beat up, isn't he? So,
and the thing is, he doesn't need to rush either. He doesn't need to rush. He's still young. How old is he?
He wants to, though.
Sorry, what was that, Jay?
The way he's talking, Adelaide, I think he's trying to push forward pretty fast, though.
Yeah. No, I agree, because you're calling out Nathan Gorman. Yeah. But look, he's 24 years of age, and for a heavyweight, that's a young man for a heavyweight, and he's got time to develop and grow. Obviously, he will want to get in that domestic division, like Nathan Gorman, maybe Fabio Wardley's, just to try and boost him and harden him up. Which, fair play to him, but certainly this fight against Sokolowski tonight is a great turning point, and tells his court camp a lot about David Adelaide. Leighton Evelyn says, no, what I mean is Frank gave Adelaide easy fights, too many, overhyped. If he can't beat this guy.
Oh, big right hand.
Oh,
Adelaide took a left. Oh,
he's took it well. He's made him miss as well. He's coming in and out of range really well, Sokolowski here. And it looks like Adelaide just maybe, in trouble.
Like, I love David Adelaide, but he's looking pretty novice in this fight, Joe. I don't mean to be rude to the fella. On the back foot, he's reminding me a bit of Daniel Dubois versus Joyce. All these fights he was coming forward. It's a bit like Wilder. Fury's done the blueprint. Do you know what I mean? All these aggressive fighters who come forward, put them on the back foot, and you'll see what they got. And if they're good, they'll be able to have a bit of skill. But they're not. Adelaide's not using the jab very well. These single left-hand jabs, double jab to the body. Like, change it up a bit. There you go. There we go. Yeah, he's just throwing a shot there, left and a right. Every boxer work from your jab. Do you know what I mean? Work from your jab. Everything comes from that. Single shots won't always work unless you're Jake Paul against Ben Askren, but that's amateurs, isn't
it? Base Jump says bad matchmaking from Frank. A lot of people think it, Jay, and I can see we think it's good, but I can see why people would say it's bad, because at the minute David Adelaide's losing this fight probably.
Yeah, but viewers, remember,
so many people.
Viewers, remember, if David Adelaide fought a tin can, he banged him out in one round, you'd be like, oh my God, Frank, that's bad matchmaking. Now he's in a half decent fight. Just sit back and enjoy it. If he wins, he wins. He loses, he loses. This is fighting. This is the fight game. Obviously, we all want David Adelaide to win as a Brit, but do you know what I mean? This is a fight. It's two men going at it, and that's what fighting is.
Yeah, definitely. Great heavyweight fight. Great fight. This. I'm enjoying it.
3 rounds down.
Yeah, I think maybe the first was close. I'd probably give it to Sokolowski, but yeah, probably 3 rounds down. I'd have to agree, Jay. There. Dave J says cash in the 8th, talking about the big main event later. Make sure you smash the like button so we can get more of these live streams out. Quick pace. We had a great live stream on, what was it? Was it Wednesday, Jay? About the big news, about the zone.
Did you follow up? Did you hear that on IFL?
Yes, I did. On IFL TV. It was a great interview, that. He weren't giving too much away.
Nah, but I've got a few opinions on it if we've got time later, or if we do another stream next week or something.
Yeah, no, plenty of streams. It's all coming up on Pep Talk UK. So while you're here, you might as well hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be so much content coming your way from an interview perspective and a live stream perspective here. We've got watch-alongs, we've got live streams, we've got news, and there's no better place to be. Let's be real. Let's be real about this. Pep Talk UK.
Yeah, definitely.
For 100%. Interviews, it's fantastic channel, and it's a privilege to host this with UJ. Honestly, it's a great night of boxing.
Definitely, and the 4th round's come out, and it's going the same way as the other 3 rounds.
Yeah, he certainly needs to change it up here, David Adelaide.
I hope he give Nick Webb a call before this fight to get some advice, because if he didn't, this is a tough night for him.
Yeah,
which it already is, as we can see.
Leighton Evelyn says 3-0 Solowski. So yeah, it certainly looks that way.
Well, all the shots that have made me jump out my seat a bit has all been from Sokolowski so far. Adelaide's come back with a couple of counters, but that's due to Sokolowski's pressure. It's not due to Adelaide working his jab, making the pressure himself. I'm shocked. He's a tank, Adelaide. I'm shocked that. I don't know what happened there. I saw a bit of spit flying, but Adelaide looks a bit more focused this round.
He got caught though. Adelaide just then, as he come in, he just missed with his left hand and got caught on the way in. Base Jumper says, look at how White is matchmaking Babbage and Fabio Wardley. That is good matchmaking, I believe. Babbage and Fabio Wardley there. Obviously, we just look at their most 2 recent fights. Babbage with Little and Wardley with Molina. They're good heavyweights. They're really 100%. Good heavyweights. So I'm just excited to see where the journey goes with Babbage and Wardley, because they certainly look impressive.
I think it's Fabio Wardley, Nick Webb next. I'm not 100% sure. It's just the rumours of heard Webb say.
I think the Border Control ordered it.
Yeah,
I think it may have been for the British. I think it may. Yeah. So that'll be a great fight. I look forward to that.
Yeah, Nick Webb's a good fighter. I think the Dave Allen fight maybe was an off night. I think Dave Allen's a good fighter. He's just a fighter who didn't put 100% into it. I've seen a lot of Dave's amateur fights that he's picked clips up online or even followed his old pro career. The guy's got skills in that. I just hope the guy has a full training camp, puts his mind into it, and good luck to him. I've heard he's on the comeback, so good luck, Dave Allen. I'd love to see you again. Definitely.
I was at Dave Allen versus Lucas Brown, and it was an absolutely fantastic night. It was the atmosphere at the O2 that night was electric. When Dave Allen hit him with that body shot, it was a great night. Great night. BG London says Adelaide better win the 4th. It's been a better round for Adelaide this 4th round.
He's getting manned around.
I'd still probably give it to Sokolowski. Maybe. I don't know. It's a close round, this one though. It's closer.
I'll give it 3-1. 3-1. Maybe 3-2 if you want to give Adelaide 2, but maybe I'd give the first one even. But maybe give Adelaide a first.
I don't know. To be fair, I'm thinking now. I'm leaning towards it could be 4-0 here.
I agree with Leighton. 4-0.
Yeah. Leighton Evelyn says 4-0 down. In my eyes, that means he needs to win the next round certainly, and gotta go for the knockout.
Always watch the corners. I always like watching the corners, and Adelaide looks like someone that's now woken up to the fight game. He looks a bit like. Okay.
A rude awakening.
Yeah, he's not really listening to his corner. It's like, when they're trying to focus themselves, like in their own mind, they're trying to think, what's happening here? What's happening here? That's what it looks like. It looks like he's just thinking to himself, okay, is this what it is? Like when someone fights back.
Here we go. We come out
Comes
for
out with that left
the
jab, nice.
5th round. Round 5 of 6, so he definitely needs a few knockdowns or a knockout in Bayal card.
He needs a knockout to win. Oh, big right by Sokolovsky there.
Oh,
see, look, the varies of the jab by Sokolovsky are much better than David Adelaide. He's going to the body. He's going to look there to the chest. He's throwing a nice jab. Adelaide needs to work on his jab a bit better.
Shaz says Adelaide needs stoppage unless the ref is watching a completely different fight, and I agree. We both agree, Jay.
Yeah, 100%. But you've seen crazier results before, and I don't know. This 6th round does the ref make the call in this one?
Yeah, I believe so. I think the ref is the judge on this one.
I don't think the ref should ever do that.
Yeah, you disagree with that one, do you, Jay?
Yeah, because the judges are at the side. The ref, I don't want to say they're biased in that, but the ref's like, do you know what I mean? I just feel like if there's a fighter who should win or something, sometimes I feel like the ref just gives it to him. That happened when John McDermott fought Tyson Fury, won. They went 10 rounds, and I think that I don't know if it went to the judges' scorecards or the ref give it, but I can't remember if that did happen. But I swear it was the referee who gave the verdict for that fight, and I just feel like just the judges, they've got a job, the ref's got a job, innit? Don't give the ref another job to judge the fight as well.
Yeah. Interestingly, Shaz says, I saw Sokolowski KO a heavyweight from Brixton called AJ Carter. The man can box, and he's showing it here tonight. We're just over the halfway point in round 5, and David Adelaide is losing this fight, certainly on the scorecards. He's been put under tremendous pressure. Oh, nice shot. Nice counter there.
Yeah.
That's what you should have been doing from round 1, in my opinion.
I think Gorman now will be saying, Frank, I'll fight this geezer now.
Yeah.
100%. Before this fight, Gorman was like, I don't need to fight this guy. Because the risk factor, do you know what I mean? If I lose to him, I'm right down at the bottom. But now I think Gorman will be like, nah, I'll take him and just take him out. But he won't fight him if he loses. No way. Because why would he? But if Adelaide somehow wins if the ref gives it to him or it's a big right hand, then I think Gorman would take this fight. But yeah, he needs a referee. He needs the referee to help him out here. Sokolowski's holding. And he needs a stoppage. Because on my notes earlier, for David Adelaide, I literally had nothing apart from his record because the guys that he fought, I didn't think
he's obviously been a sparring partner for a lot of the big heavyweights.
Yeah,
but whether you can translate that, it's very different. Whether you can translate that to the pro ring is a very different story. But he'll come back from this. Whether he loses tonight, he'll come back. He's a fighter. He's a heavyweight fighter with a lot of potential. So it's tough to watch in some respect here because I think everyone had high expectations for Adelaide tonight. But we never know. You never know. He could come out and stun us all in this last round here.
And it is 6 fights in. If you look at most people's fights after 6 fights, you don't really know who they are, and do you know what I mean? So
exactly,
to fight someone like this after his 6th fight is a big step up. And if people didn't think that, it's one of them fights. Before the fight happened, people were like, "Why is he fighting him?" And now he's fighting him, and he's struggling. People are like, "Oh, it's a bad matchup. He was too good for him." It's like you couldn't really win, could you, if you're Frank Warren? And the 6th round starts the same. Sokolowski straight across to Adelaide's corner, coming with a left jab, coming with a right uppercut there. I don't know what's happened to Adelaide tonight. It looks like a completely different fight. I don't know what you think, Joe.
Yeah, no, I just think it's definitely just been a rude awakening. It's a fighter that's come to beat David Adelaide. It's a boxer he's boxed smart as well. He's known when to throw his shots. He's landed some big right hands. And maybe you could say he's took advantage of Adelaide's inexperience.
Yeah. Oh, they both threw big right hands there. Yeah, I love that. Love that. Yeah, it's
Fantastic there. They come back off it. Yeah.
I don't know. To be fair, I don't know where Adelaide will go after this day. I know it's a loss against a good opponent, but you're 6 fights in. Like,
assuming there is a loss.
well, if he doesn't lose, if he wins this by referee awarding it, then I don't even want to say. We're all here watching it. We're all watching boxing. You don't take a rocket scientist to see who's winning this fight. Oh, another big hand by Sokolowski.
Wow.
David Adelaide hasn't come forward once in 6 rounds. Once.
Do you think that's because he doesn't like Sokolowski's power, or do you think he's just been trying to find an in and hasn't been able to find it?
He hasn't used his jab, Joe. If someone's pressuring you, how do you get them off you? Double jab. You pop them with the jab. It's like it's. Who's Adelaide's trainer? I apologise, I don't know who it is, but do you know who his trainer is?
It's Martin Bowers, I think. Martin Bowers, I'm pretty sure.
Well, if that's the case, then it looks like Daniel DeBar against Joe Joyce here. I don't mean to be funny.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if it is Martin Bowers, he just looks like Daniel Dubois. It's just an aggressive, come forward fighter. There's nothing for the back foot, and obviously Daniel agreed because he's left Martin now. And I was about to say, I think a good trainer for Adelaide would be Tony Sins.
Yeah. Shaz says levels, and he said, and he's been calling out every man and his dog.
He's called out every man.
Oh, he said it's Frank Greaves. It's Frank Greaves.
Frank Greaves, okay. I don't really know much about Frankie Greaves. I know he's got a couple of fighters, but I don't know. I'm shocked by how little he's used his jab in this fight. When he has thrown it, it's not even been a solid jab. It's just a left jab. Yeah, if someone's pressuring you, jab to the body, like you said, he was open to the body. I think Adelaide's hurt him here. He's hurt him in the last 5 seconds. Oh, Sokolowski. Oh, it's over. It's over.
Oh,
he could have had him out if he had another minute then.
Oh, yeah. It come at the last minute there. It was a good showing from Sokolowski, and we expect him to take the decision, Jay.
Oh, 100%. I've just looked at Adelaide and I think he's looked at his corner and said, did I win that one? I'm not 100% sure. Oh, he hit Sokolowski there. Another minute, he could have had him out there. He was wobbly. Oh, it was a nice right hand. Yeah, I think Sokolowski definitely with the victory. I've got it 5 rounds to 0 and a drawn round. So
yeah. Mix and Cash says David will. Oh, here we go. Well, let's just find that comment for you. David will end up as a YouTube video when cocky boxers get beat, and he says, "Hold the front page." Leighton Evelyn says, "I smell robbery." We shall soon see. Ref asking for emotes, Jazz says so. It must be. Judges.
Oh, is it judges? Is it? Well,
we'll see. Is
it? We behind it all day?
No, I don't think so.
He may have won, but we know the game.
We could be base jumper. We could.
If Adelaide's won here, I'll tell you what. That is this
robbery coming. Robbery. Here we go.
Oh my God!
Robbery!
Oh my God!
You was just Marcus McDonnell.
This is what I said. This is a joke.
Wow!
Nathan Gorman fight David Adelaide next. Fight him next. And school him.
Yeah, just to clarify there, it was Marcus McDonnell.
David Adelaide will not learn from this. He will not learn. I am fuming right now. I am fuming. If this guy, nah. This ain't how sport works. This ain't how sport works. Sport ain't here for you to get beat, he was in that corner feeling like a loser. And that's how he should have felt tomorrow for that performance. I love David Adelaide. But I ain't listening to the punditry here, but I'd like to see what David A says. But I swear down that he didn't win one round.
Yeah, I hope trainer Frank Greaves says to Adelaide, you may have got the decision, but you did not win this fight. And surely Adelaide will have a look and realise that he may have not won the fight. Look, we've got robbery comments coming in everywhere. Shaz says Sokolowski should choke slam the ref. Marcus McDonald there. Surely it's obviously a controversial decision.
Someone tell me who was the ref when Tyson Fury fought John McDermott won? It was Marcus McDonald, wasn't it? Was it him?
Let's have a look. We'll have a look here. We'll have a look.
Yeah. Because I swear down, these are why these fighters don't want to come to this country and fight. And we're meant to be the mecca of boxing at the moment. It's a joke. These scorecards and this refereeing for the last year has been pathetic.
Yeah.
And you see why Billy Joe Saunders is worried about fighting.
There's been a lot of call for it. Yeah.
This is a joke. We're sat here now watching it as fans, and we're talking casually, and we could see who won this fight. Nah.
It was Terry O'Connor. It was Terry O'Connor over 10 rounds.
Terry O'Connor.
John McDermott. John McDermott, Tyson Fury over 10 rounds. 11th of September 2009.
Won that one. We all know that.
Yeah, no one's happy about that.
I'm fuming.
Yeah, Gordon beats David with ease. I just hope he does learn from
He won't
the fight.
Joe. He won't Joe. Because he won.
That's down to Frank Greaves. That's down to Frank Greaves to say to him, surely.
No, but as a fighter himself, he should know he knew in that corner he didn't win that fight. And what's he got to say here?
Ricky Amasu says, damn, I wanted Adelaide to win, but this is crazy.
I agree.
Steve Hunt's here.
Very intense rounds. I'm not happy.
Fair play. He's not happy, he said.
David learned that Uncle Frank has got his back, Shaz. Bill Singh says he lost that WTF. BG London says shocking, that's wrong. And that is certainly the vibe we're getting on here. And that's what both of us thought, that Sokolowski won that fight by quite wide margins for a 6-rounder. We see Robert Hodgson, absolute disgrace.
Have you heard what Adelaide said? It's exactly what I said.
What's he saying,
He didn't use his jab tonight. He should have used his jab better. And you can tell by Buncey's voice. Buncey's asking him the questions in nice ways, like, oh, what do you feel like? Buncey knows he's lost his fight, but he can't just come out and say, you lost this fight. But you can tell by his questions, the way he's asking him, that he knows he didn't win this. But fair play to Adelaide. He said, look, I wasn't good enough. I'm not happy with the result, and I should have used my jab. I love you, David Adelaide. You're a great fighter, but you did not win that. And I love this game, and I want the winners to win. People train hard. They pay good money. This is sport. You train, you compete, you win or you lose. And come on, the man lost. The man lost.
Yeah.
And
it's a shame.
Gorman's already ringing up Frank Warren. I've just heard breaking news. Gorman has said, I will take David Adelaide out in 5 rounds. I'm not saying that will happen. I'm just saying that's what Gorman's saying.
Surely, I doubt very much it will happen, but the only right thing to do is give Sokolowski a rematch.
Yeah, 100%. He ain't going to rematch him. Come on, Joe. Frank Warren ain't going to let him rematch that.
I'm not saying he will, but I'm just saying surely it's the right thing to do to give Sokolowski another chance, because he probably won that fight. And I just hope Adelaide takes this as a very stern warning. And I just pray to God that now he'll go away from that with the mentality that he maybe lost that fight. Because if you go away from that... Good, sorry, Jay.
No, I agree. I was just going to say what Christopher said in them comments. I agree with why people are getting fed up with boxing and watching UFC. 100%. 100%. But I think that's what Eddie Hearn's trying to go down that format. We spoke about that in the stream the other day. But, I think Adelaide... I liked what I heard. Like I was quite mad with the result, but I was happy with what I heard from Adelaide in the response. He didn't say, "Oh, yeah, I deserve to win" and all this. He said, "Look, I'm not happy. I should have used my jab more." And then look at it. That's all you can ask for. But these decisions by these refs, man, like nah, like some fighters come back stronger after a loss. They get that feeling. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like when you get wins like this, it can go to your head and it can go the other way. So, oh yeah, David Hayes saying now he should have a rematch.
Exactly, it would be the right thing to do. William Williams says, terrible decision. What a disgrace. Shaz is all over this. Rumour has it Sokolowski waiting in the car park at York Hall for a straightener on the cobbles with David. Hopefully we see that on YouTube. Kingdale Clark says, what do you lads think of the possibility of Saunders stopping Canelo? Maybe we'll come back to that later, Kingdale Clark. But at the minute, we've just got to talk about this. Yeah, robbery, people are crying out here. Learning experience, though, and I agree. Matchroom are worse. Matchroom are worst, are the worst, are worse than BT for robberies. That's a fact.
It's all over the board, Joe. Every promotion's got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. To me, it's not about the promoter. I think we're way past the days where promoters give backhanders to officials, and I hope to God that is the case. But when we see these decisions, it just doesn't help the sport, does it? And that's what we're saying about UFC.
Joe, I'll be honest, man.
Don't get me wrong. Go on, Jay.
I feel broken after that result. Yeah, I feel broken because I love boxing. I love it. I've loved it for years. Do you know what I mean? I love it, but I don't love it when I see a decision that goes wrong. I love David Adelaide. I wanted David Adelaide to win, but I wanted him to win. I didn't want someone to give it to him. Like I said this halfway through the fight, I'm worried about refs like this. He's the British fighter. He's with Frank Warren. No, man. Like it wasn't even close. Do you know what I mean? If you said, "Oh, it was a slugfest," it was close. I gave Adelaide probably the last round when he got that lucky punch near the end. But decisions like this, and like you say, it's not the promoters. Look at the last show that it was a bad decision. Eddie Hearn was out there, wasn't he? He was slating the judges. He was saying, "I don't like this," because promoters nowadays, it doesn't look good for their shows. They don't want it. Like you were saying, it's gone the days where the promoters are doing this. It's the refs. I don't know what the ref was seeing there. If he knew the fighters, he knows Adelaide's a come-forward fighter. The guy come forward one time in the last 10 seconds of the fight, and he nearly got him out. But apart from that, it was no, I can't get my head around decisions like that. And young people seeing that. You only get people tonight thinking, I ain't going to watch boxing after that. Like casual fans, no casual fans. Me, I'll be heartbroken, but I still watch boxing. I still carry on loving this game, but...
The way I see it, the way I see it, Jay, is that if there is a young fan or someone really new to the sport who might be tuning in to their first fight night tonight, and they see that, that's not going to appeal to them, surely. That they'll turn the TV off straight away, and that's the very sad thing, because it's not allowing boxing to grow. Because if we look in the last 10-15 years, boxing in this country has grown enormously. It's gone from a lot of small shows to a lot of arena shows to even stadium shows, and we'd love it to grow more, so we get even more stadium shows, even more fantastic nights at Wembley. We've got these fantastic football stadiums in our country, and we'd love them to be filled up with a boxing ring in the middle of them.
Yeah.
So we just need to keep boxing growing, which it is, but this is stumbling the development if we carry on getting bad decisions.
Joe, what we're going to have in boxing soon, VAR, mate, where there's going to be someone in a booth looking at the result and saying, look, this ain't right. Do you know what I mean? No, I'm not joking.
No.
You can't keep doing this to fighters. You can't do it. Like, fighters nowadays spend a lot of money in their camps and that. They're training hard. They're away from their families and that. Nah. Give the winner. Let the winner be the winner. Like, nah, this is... Like, I've got nothing... I've got no affiliation with Sokolowski. None at all. He's a great fighter. He's showing that tonight. I wanted Adelaide to win. But I ain't a cheat. I don't want people to win because it's been given to him. If someone thinks that Adelaide won, I'd like to see a comment. But at the moment, I ain't seen no one say that Adelaide's won. And it just disappoints me because you know now that in any fight that this can happen.
Yeah. And it's now the chat is raging and coming in with comments all about bad decisions. And we don't want to be talking about bad decisions. We look at this, like Kingdale Clark said, what do you think is the worst decision in recent memory? He thinks Rios Abril. And then we look at Christopher Anthony. There needs to be a new independent panel looking at these pony refs. I'm not talking about Robert Smith and them bunch of dinosaurs. A lot of people are calling for this now. And
we need a change. We need a change.
Exactly. I don't want to be the one to say it and start making these bold claims because there are a lot of good decisions. But when we see a decision like that, it's just not great for the sport at all. And I really do worry now for this show because if we see a fantastic fight in Denzel Bentley versus Felix Cash, I think we will see a fantastic fight. First of all, I pray to God that on Monday morning or whenever we come out this show tomorrow morning, people are talking about the fantastic fight, not this terrible decision.
Yeah, but I also think, though, Joe, you need to talk about these terrible decisions when they're being made. They shouldn't be swept under the carpet. To make a change, you need to highlight the problems. And these are problems in the game. People ain't just saying... People are upset because it means something to people. Like, people are spending their evenings that they can spend it with their families, doing whatever, to watch boxing, do you know what I mean? To watch a sport that a promoter's put on. You want it fair. Billy Joe Saunders is saying he wanted a British judge. Mate, you're better off without a British judge. Because our judging at the moment is terrible. So, Billy, don't even worry about that, son. Just get in there and do your thing. Because at the moment, all the officials are crap. The Joseph Parker versus the Farr, Junior Farr, in New Zealand a couple of months ago. That was a shocking scorecard. It was a crap fight, I'll give you that. But Parker didn't win by 8 or 9 rounds.
Yeah, I think 2 of the 3 scorecards were very wide. If I remember
I had Junior Farr
winning
the fight when I watched it. I watched it and thought it was a boring fight, so maybe it might have been hard to score. But if it's hard to score, it's a close fight. One fight got it by 9 or 8 rounds. I
think I actually judged that fight a draw. If I remember rightly.
So a draw or 1 round either way, you could have that, couldn't you?
Yeah, guys. Let's move on to something more positive now. Hit that subscribe button, Pep Talk UK.
I've got some,
keep watching.
Some news.
Keep your comments coming in. Go on. What's breaking news here?
Well, no breaking news. I was just going to follow up on what Frank Warren said before the fight tonight. Did you see his interview?
No, I didn't, Jay.
Okay, he's up for making Dennis McCann versus Prince Patel. You've heard this one? This is getting a bit of heat at the moment.
I see that. There was an IFL interview with Dennis McCann, and obviously the IFL interview with Patel a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
I saw that. Frankie Boy's up for making that. Frank's up for that. He said Patel, give him a call. He wants that, and he said there's been some sort of talks. I'm not sure what talks, but there's been contact. Also, Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, 50-50. He wants it on.
I saw that. I saw that.
He said before the show tonight, he said, look, 50-50. There's been some slight talks with Triller, and he's up for it. So, I'm up for that, Frankie Boy.
I still don't think that fight's going to happen. I've got to be
He ain't going to fight a pro boxer, is he? So
I don't think he'll be fighting Tommy Fury. But as for Dennis McCann versus Prince Patel, whoo! I'd love to see that. The build-up alone. The build-up alone would be pay-per-view. That build-up, honestly.
I'd go Dennis McCann to win in 8 rounds, though. That's my personal opinion on that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard with Prince Patel because a lot of his fights have been over in Africa, and I think he fought in Saudi Arabia. So he's been away from the British limelight for a while. He's not fought the best of opponents. He's fought a couple of decent, actually, opponents. And again, there, Shaz says it's all about the money. And I'm probably referring to Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury there. And if there's enough money, surely that fight will be made. But I can't see it because I can't imagine Tommy Fury will be the biggest star over in the States.
Yeah, but have you seen that Jake Paul's now releasing statements that Tommy Fury's missus was in his DMs and stuff? It's It's building up.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like
slow build. Yeah, no, good,
but I
brilliant.
don't think he'll fight a pro boxer because I do think Tommy Fury will smash him about.
Yeah, no. We'll just quickly move on here, Jay. We've got Callum Johnson next. Light heavyweight up against Markic, and he's been out of the ring for over 2 years now, I think it is.
Yeah.
Callum Johnson, and he's a fantastic light heavyweight. Had that brilliant fight with Artur Beterbiev, obviously unified light heavyweight champion of the world, probably the number one light heavyweight right now.
Yeah.
What do you think about Callum Johnson? For me, he's the forgotten man of the division. Do you think? That's why he signed this new contract with Frank Warren. He's gone to Frank Warren. Hopefully, that. Go on, Jay.
Personally, sorry, I was just had something in my eye. Sorry, there.
That's all right, mate.
Personally, I think it's Joe Gallagher, his manager, that makes it difficult. My personal opinion.
Oh, okay. You're going down the Gallagher route, okay?
Yeah, just from what I've seen in that, and from most of his fighters ain't active at all. Like, when did Liam Smith last fight? Do you know what I mean? Like, when did Rocky Fielding last fight? Like, do you know what I mean? Natasha Jones.
Yeah, Liam Smith's out in a couple of weeks, I think, isn't he? In Russia, I think it is. Yeah, I know. He last fought, I think, was it? Oh, it was a Matchroom USA card, I think, but it weren't against the highest caliber opponent, if I remember rightly. So, go on, Jay. Sorry.
With Joe, I don't know. From what's in Eddie, he's quite difficult to negotiate. So I feel like that must be the issue because fighters want to fight. Do you know what I mean? And Callum Johnson ain't going to be sitting there thinking, I don't want to fight. He's a fighter. He got to world level, had a great fight, like you said, put the world champion down. I remember when he fought Frank Buglioni. That was a good fight. Callum Johnson, I think it was his management, to be fair. Eddie Hearn offered him a deal. I think it was a 3-fight deal last year, and I think Joshua Buatsi was involved in that deal, and he turned it down. So I just thought, if you're active looking for fights in that, and sometimes it looked like Callum didn't even know nothing about some of the deals when I heard Eddie's interviews. It looked like it was just going to Joe, and Joe was just saying no. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just going on what Eddie Hearn said. But
yeah,
I've believed that his management team, which is Joe Gallagher, didn't get him out enough because he's a great fighter. And maybe that could have ruined the guy's career because you're out in the ring every 2 years and other people are fighting constantly. The people that are fighting constantly are going to have that edge. But he's got hands. And if you've got hands, you've got a chance.
Yeah. Go for this fight. Talking about it with Callum Johnson and Markic, what do you think? Do you think Callum Johnson wins this fight, or do you think it'll be a tight fight, or what's your opinion today?
Well, Markic, he's got 32 wins, 2 losses. He did beat Thomas Adamek, if you recall Thomas Adamek. Remember him fighting Jarrell Baby Miller at heavyweight? Yeah. So that's a good victory for him. I'm not too sure. I think Callum Johnson should win, and it's just down to the inactivity. I feel. I don't really know much about Markic, to be honest. He's got a good record: 32 wins, 2 losses, 24 knockouts. Should I add as well? So it's quite a big knockout ratio. I'm hoping for a slugfest.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for a good old battle. 2 years out, go for it, innit? Nothing to lose.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think certainly it'd be interesting to see the first 4 rounds because a lot of ring rust to get rid of. And I just hope that Callum Johnson does move on quickly from this, gets more active because he's not the youngest of fighters. He needs to move fast. And he's definitely got the talent for me. I really do think he's such a talented fighter. And it'd just be a shame to let inactivity be his downfall.
Exactly. And that's why I feel we lost to Beterbiev or the Beterbiev. Yeah, Beterbiev. I feel like when he fought him, if he was more fighting regularly, I reckon he would have been more. I reckon he could have got him out of there. I believe that because he ain't as active as he was, he kind of admitted he froze. That's because you haven't been fighting enough.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? If he had that killer instinct, he
Yeah.
probably would have took him out there.
Yeah.
But
no.
when you haven't been in the ring, you might have
And-
thought, I'll pace myself. I ain't gone many rounds. I don't want to empty the gas tank right now. But if he had all them fights, the fitness and that, he would have gone for it there and then, world title level. And I think he even said in a few interviews he wished he went for it more. I just feel like the doubts of not fighting as much probably now back off here or back off. And if you back off against someone who hits as hard as that, it's going to go the way it did. But it's just like you say, it'd be a shame that inactivity will ruin this guy's career. But he's 36 and inactivity has ruined his career so far. So he has to win this fight. I heard he's got the winner of Arthur versus Yard. That's what Warren said. He has to win that.
I hope so.
And then it has to be a world title after that because the guy ain't got long. But I think he's a fantastic fighter.
But going to Yard after the rematch, what happens if Yard wins that? Will there be a trilogy fight? Do you think Lyndon Arthur will call for that trilogy fight, or do you think they both go their separate ways and maybe meet each other later on in their careers?
I don't think it'll happen straight away. Because I think where Callum Johnson's a bit older now, Frank will want to get the winner of that into that one and say, look, you get a win after that fight after you lost. If you get another win, you could have the winner of this one maybe, or maybe the loser again, and then you got a rematch if it's Yard if he loses against Johnson or whatever. Yeah, I think the rematch won't happen straight away, but I can see the rematch happening somewhere down the line. But they got Callum Johnson who's quite a lot older, so they're going to have to push that fight next.
Yeah, bit of chat in the comments here saying don't be surprised if Johnson loses tonight. That's from Anthony McCann. And Nixon Cash says, I hear you, Anthony. So there's a few people here saying that it might be a tough night for him. And we see here the fight just about to start here. The co-main, we've got the main event tonight. Felix Cash versus Denzel Bentley for the British Commonwealth middleweight titles. Is going to be an absolute cracker, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Hit that subscribe button, Pep Talk UK, and get involved in the conversation. Let us know what you think of Callum Johnson, first of all, and
Johnson
predictions. Yeah, here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, this is going to be a first or second round knockout.
That's your prediction, is it? Oh, he's coming. I
can see it already. Johnson's feeling this.
Yeah, he's digging in the body shots, which I love from Callum Johnson. He's got his fighter on the ropes and just letting him go, relaxing, which I like. And you don't often see it from a fighter that hasn't fought in over 2 years. He's looking good.
The thing with Johnson, though, he does this. He has a long layoff and comes back with 1 and 2 round knockouts, and I don't think that's enough ring time for him.
Yeah, you might well be right there, Jay. Oh,
nice right hand.
Yeah. Very precise. Very precise early on. Looks very strong. Caught on the way in, though.
Yeah. Markic is coming back here, though. I'm very impressed. He's holding. Yeah. Oh, I don't think he liked that left, though.
I think Markic did cut.
Yeah.
So, look, just slowing down a bit the pace here, but fast start to the fight, and looks like could be a good fight. This, certainly if it lasts longer than it's looking like at the minute.
I asked for a slugfest.
You certainly did, Jay. And the way it's going right now, if it stays at this pace, both fighters can carry on. Oh, lovely uppercut into a left hand coming out of the ropes. Markic there.
Johnson's been dropped. That was a knockdown with his knee at the floor.
Oh, it looked like his knee touched the canvas. It looked like the knee touched the canvas. Now Markic is coming forward. Incredible scenes here in the first round of Callum Johnson versus Markic. Callum Johnson hasn't been out in 2 years, and what a fight for him. What a fight this is.
Wow. I want to see that again, Joe. I thought his knee hit the floor.
Yeah.
I thought his knee hit the floor.
There, Joe.
I said first or second round stoppage. I didn't say who to.
Yeah, certainly. I try not to get too carried away with myself here because this first round's been brilliant to watch.
Oh, big right hand by Johnson and again.
Oh, come on, you got to follow it up now. Markic on the ropes again. Both fighters
Markets with a
cut.
good right hand.
Back and forth action here. Markets trying to get some counters off the ropes. Coming forward now. Burying a body shot there, Markets.
Oh, they're just... Oh, some nice shots from both gentlemen here.
Yeah,
nice little uppercuts
lovely
from
uppercut
Markets.
from Markets. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful.
This is a lovely fight. There's been not much boxing
Brilliant.
skill in this first round, but there's been a lot of punches and a lot of good, hard connections.
Head to head, toe to toe, a lot of power, two brawlers going at it by the looks of it. And it's providing us with a lot of entertainment here. And I hope it's providing you the same in the comments here. If you're not watching the fight at home, we've just had a brilliant first round. And if you are, let us know what you think. Base Jump said, wasn't that a knockdown? I need to see that again because it did look like Callum Johnson's knee touched the canvas there.
And if it did, and they missed it, referee, come on. We've just had that in the last fight. Decisions.
Steve Gray refereeing this contest here. And Jay will not be impressed.
Come on, camera angle. Oh, convenient. The camera angle doesn't show his knee.
Yeah. That weren't the best camera angle.
He went down. That's a knockdown.
Yeah,
that was a knockdown.
It certainly looked that way. Weren't the best camera angles, I must admit, there to see it conclusively.
But guess what, Joe?
Go on.
I feel a lot happier after this first round than I did after the last fight. So thank you, Callum Johnson and Markich. Making me feel a lot happier now.
Definitely. And Jay's just trying to vent this frustration at the British Border Control at the minute by the looks of it, Jay.
Look, if they need some new people to be judges or referees and that, look, I'm sure there's young people out there that wouldn't help. I'll even give it a go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love boxing. No, it's all about people who love boxing. Yeah. It's got to change. Do you know what I mean? Like, no offence to them. They've been great refs in that. And I've been seeing these refs for 15, 20 years in that. But come on, you've got to have some sort of change. We're in the 21st century in that.
Oh, both fighters get caught here in the second round as well.
There's no skill here, is there, Joe? It's literally slugfest.
The way Johnson come out at the start of the second round here looked like he was trying to get behind his jab, trying to move about a bit, but he's very quickly got brought into how the first round was.
Whipping them body shots in now.
Yeah, but Markich can't make a habit of being on the ropes like this. Wow, lovely 1-2 there from Callum Johnson. Markich now trying to come out off the ropes.
But Markich has proved though. He's got that shot in him that can hurt Johnson.
And he's definitely got a chin, Markich, as well, because he took a lot of punishment early on.
Yeah, he's got 24 knockouts, and you can see that with that punch he landed in the first round. But he ain't got much skill behind the jab. He's not using his jab. He's a bit flat-footed. Skill-wise, Callum Johnson's a much better fighter, but as we saw earlier, anything can happen. And I think this is the thing with Callum Johnson, where he's not been in for so long, he looks like he's a bit too eager. So
Shad says, I hate to say it. Shad says, I hate to say it, but Callum doesn't look himself, and he doesn't because he's trying to go for the knockout. Yeah, he's trying to rush Markich. He's obviously a really tough guy, and he's proven it here. That's a lovely shot. It's a beautiful shot. There. Oh, his head's shaking. Looks like his head was coming off of his shoulders. Wow.
Oh, the ref might stop this. Oh, it's dropped it.
Gray taking a close look.
It's over.
Yeah, and he stopped it. He wasn't responding with punches whatsoever. Markich looked under an immense bit of pain there. And Callum Johnson gets the round 2 stoppage. Jay, your prediction correct. So well done there. But we just see Callum Johnson, people saying he didn't look himself, but he got his opponent out of there in the second round. And it looks like Callum Johnson, winner of Arthur and Yard. Let's see it. Anthony McKen says Callum is food and drink for Lyndon Arthur. Lyndon Arthur certainly a boxer. What do you think of that fight?
I think if Callum Johnson fought any of them two guys tonight, he would have lost. But a couple of months of training, got a fight under his belt, could be a different story.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell because we only saw 2 rounds of him and we don't know because Callum Johnson, he couldn't keep. There's no way he would have been able to keep that pace up for 10 rounds. So,
No,
so
no way.
so it would have been interesting to see how we boxed. But yeah, you can't
To be
really
fair,
say too
I'm
much.
watching.
Yeah, go on, Jay.
I'm watching the end of the fight. Good stoppage, but about 3 or 4 of them were blatantly at the back of the head by Callum Johnson. The guy had his hand up, and if you take them shots to the back of the head, they do impact. Look here, back of the head, back of the head. It's behind his ear and that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Did you
they're
see?
gonna hurt.
Did you see when he goes down as well? Though the body, he's holding the body. He was clearly in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, really in a lot of pain.
But this is the thing with Johnson. We said this earlier. He's not active enough. So
No,
he's not
2 years out,
enough,
ring rust. Yeah.
he comes in tonight and he's too eager. It's like he's too fast. Like he's not showing his boxing skills. He's not setting down on his shots. He's just literally throwing haymakers and hoping that he gets them out. I like it when Johnson throws a jab, whips them body shots in, then goes back to the head. I felt tonight he done that. He done that at some times, but at other stages it was just wild haymakers. And I want to see that shot again because I swear that was a knockdown. I don't know if anyone else in the comments
in
has
the
seen a
first
better
round.
angle.
Yeah. Let us know what you think, guys. But props to Callum Johnson after a 2-year layoff. He come back and got a round 2 stoppage, and hopefully he can build on that, get more active, and hopefully in the final years of his career can get some good fights in. Look, Anthony McKen says Callum's far too open there. I don't know what you think about that, Jay.
Well, he got dropped, didn't he? He got dropped. He got fair play. He got back. He bounced off his knee and come back up, but that was a heavy shot. Heavy shot.
Yeah.
I feel. Well, I'm just waiting here to see what Lyndon Arthur's saying.
Yeah, you let us know, Jay. I'll go through some of the comments here. Anthony McKen agrees with us. BT camera doesn't show it from an angle where you can see if his knee actually touched the canvas or not, which is something we picked up on. Yes, Snacks at XRP says, I've got Bentley next. I can't wait for that fight. We'll go into more depth about this in a moment, but just getting the aftermath of Callum Johnson's round 2 stoppage of Markic after 2 years out the ring. And he's got, what is it, a WBO global like heavyweight title, I think that was. He's just, so yeah, back in winning ways, back in the ring, and just praying he can build up. Go on, what are you saying, sorry, Jay?
Yeah, Arthur's just saying he can't really take much from that. It was an up and down first round like it was. Here we go, you might see this knockdown again now. Yeah, that's a drop. I've just seen a clear angle there, and his knee hit the floor.
Yeah, I agree there, Jay. His knee did hit the floor, so that should have been counted as a knockdown. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. But it could have, if it had gone to the scorecards and there was only a couple of rounds in it, it could have mattered. But he did get his.
It's just poor refereeing again, isn't it? It's poor refereeing.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep going on about the refereeing in that, but it was a knockdown, and it wouldn't have changed the result. But I think if he fought Lyndon Arthur would have followed up on them shots and took him out. And also Yard.
Certainly an interesting fight for whoever is fighting Callum Johnson. Really needs to be careful here because people are saying he's too open, but it's important not to underestimate Callum Johnson because we know that he's a fantastic boxer, and he may have just got rid of that ring rust, sized up the ring again. There's nothing like being in a fight, like a live professional fight, and that is something he hasn't done for 2 years. So please, anyone, do not underestimate Callum Johnson.
No, I agree with you, but I just feel like like we said already, the inactivity plays a part of it because he's too eager when he comes in. He looks like he's trying to impress. It reminds me of like a fighter on his debut every time he fights because he's out for that long that it looks like he has that nervous energy of a debut fighter, a bit like Campbell Watton a few weeks ago. He's just rushing it, like you were saying, Joe. He's not settling down on his shots. But he's a world-class fighter. We've seen that. So props to Callum Johnson. And he's in entertaining fights, and I love that. So I enjoyed that. Yeah. Like I said, after that last fight, I felt so happy after that first round because I just thought, yeah, this is why I love boxing. Do you know what I mean? A good old scrap. And it put a smile on my face again. So, yeah, fair play, Callum.
I think Callum Johnson and Joe Gallagher, a fighter and trainer, that will be self-critical of that performance, even though they did get the round 2 knockout and it ended up being a solid performance. I think that knowing themselves, I like and their character, I think they will be critical and take a look at it and assess and improve for the next fight, whether that is Anthony Yard, Lyndon Arthur, or otherwise.
Oh, sorry, Joe. I was just listening to Callum Johnson asking about when he got hit with that big shot and that.
What did he say? What did he say?
He went, "Oh, my head was fine and that. I knew I took a shot, but yeah, I was all right and that and all this and then and Joe Gallagher's giving this look like just give him this like death stare." So I was just chuckling.
Nixon Cash says Johnson was brought in as cannon fodder. I'm assuming he means to the winner of Yard and Arthur. I think Callum Johnson's a tremendous fighter, guys. He's proved that he can be in really entertaining fights, especially that fight against Arthur Beterbiev. I hate to keep bringing it up, but it was such a fantastic fight. And it's one of them things. It's like we're in a great domestic light heavyweight division at the minute, and at least they are fighting each other. And that we can't complain at all.
Callum Johnson, I would have liked to have seen that fight. But seeing that...
Yeah.
I think Johnson's a great fighter, but he's too open, and you saw that in his loss when he challenged for the world title. He's a fighter that's very entertaining, and if you get that, you don't know whether it's going to be he's going to get knocked out or the other guy's going to get knocked out. So for the fans, get behind Callum Johnson because it's going to be exciting fights. But as Callum Johnson himself, as a fighter, please just fight more regular because you can't be coming in rushing like that all the time because it ain't going to end well.
Yeah, it's something to be looked at. It's something to be addressed. As for just going back to what you said about the light heavyweights, just quickly address this comment. Beterbiev fight was in 2018, and that fight ruined him, in my opinion. I'm writing Callum off at doing anything big on the British scene, and we can only say we can't agree or disagree with that comment because he hasn't been in with them yet. And time will tell. I hope time will tell anyway. And I hope we do get to see that fight that has been spoken about. And just talking about the domestic light heavyweight scene, do you think it's important for Joshua Buatsi? Because we all know how much of a talent he is. Do you think it's important for him to fight one of these British guys?
I don't think so. Because there's certain fighters who skip domestic level. And I think that Eddie and the team think that he's something special. It's a bit like AJ, really. AJ didn't really... He fought a couple of fighters, but once he got past
Dillian White, that was a big domestic clash.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That was a big fight. But after that, he went straight for the world title. He didn't go to like any more domestic opponents. He fought Gary Cornish before Dillian White, but obviously looking back at it now, that's probably an easy victory. But at the time, Gary Cornish was quite high up in the British rankings and that.
Yeah.
So similar with Lawrence Okoli, he fought Isaac Chamberlain. He's fought some good domestic level, so he went the right way.
Matty
Askin. So he went the proper way. I think I'm not too sure. But he fought an international guy in his last fight. It was quite a hard fight. The Croatian guy, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that was a good fight. That.
Yeah, I think with Buatsi, they're just going to push him up. They've already done it in his last fight. I think they're probably going to skip domestic level because sometimes promoters do like to not pad their fighters, but if they can see a different route instead of taking the risk, they're going to obviously take that. And I think with Buatsi, they probably would have took the Yard fight before he lost his 2 fights. And I think that would have probably made the money. But if no domestic fights is going to make the money, I think Buatsi is going to have one more fight and then maybe a world title eliminator.
Yeah, so if you was the promoter here, Jay, I'll just pose this to you. We see Yard versus Arthur. We see the winner of that versus Callum Johnson. And in the meantime, we see Buatsi push on, maybe even get himself a world title. Do you think, because he skipped that domestic level, do you think if he got that world title, do you think he should be saying, right, there's the best of the rest, maybe, if you want to say that, let's fight them now? Or do you think maybe avoid them? What would you do in that situation, Jay?
I don't know, because all fighters will fight each other. I don't think there's no fighter that will say, oh, I won't fight him, or they look at fighters and think, oh, I'll avoid him. It's down to what strategy the teams have got, what options they're looking at. Ricky saying that if Buatsi can get the opportunity to go straight for the world title, fair enough, but he must fight one of these guys, especially Yard. He don't have to fight any of them because look, Yard's lost to. Like that fight was made, but then Yard went for that world title early, didn't he? And lost to Kolarov. So
Yeah.
Yard went for that opportunity, and you could have said Yard should have gone and fought one of these guys before he went and fought him. So
But yeah, when he fought Kovalev out in Russia,
yeah,
he
he didn't have no big domestic dust-ups before that, and I think if he did, he might have got him out in that 8th round. But I feel Buatsi's fighting better of a level of opponents than what Yard fought up to that level. So this is the difference. It all's down to money. Buatsi's
and whatever makes the most promotional sense at the end of the day.
Exactly. And it's hard, isn't it, for Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn to make fights. So they don't really get on unless there's a purse bid or it's been called by the British board or something like that. And it works both ways. Frank's going to have to take a risk on these fighters to fight Joshua Buatsi because I'm sure Frank thinks Joshua Buatsi's a good fighter. Right? He ain't no mug, Frank. So he's not going to think, oh, it's going to be a walkover for one of these lads. So it's all about business. And if it makes sense, it will happen. If it doesn't, then Joshua Buatsi won't take it. Because Joshua Buatsi is undefeated. These guys have been beaten. So we'll say, look, these guys have been beaten by this guy or that guy. I'm on my own lane and I'll do what I've got to do. So just keep going for it.
Thunder says 90 plus watching, hit that thumbs up. And I echo his words. Hit that thumbs up button. Keep it coming. Keep these comments going because we are about to witness a great fight. Denzel Bentley versus Felix Cash. Let's get these predictions in because it is a 50-50 fight. It's such a hard fight to call. Obviously, there's a lot of needle in there, which makes it interesting. I said earlier on in the show, if anyone was watching, it is a Frank Warren and Queensby promoted fighter against a Eddie Hearn and Matchroom promoted fighter. It's one of these fights that maybe even 6 months, a year ago, if someone had said these two are going to fight, I would have said, oh, I don't think they will end up fighting each other because it looked like they was on two completely different paths. But I'm just so excited to see this fight and to see who can win. So, first of all, let us know, guys, in the comments who you think is going to win and by what method. And I'll leave it to Jay. Jay, what do you think? Going into the fight, your opinion may have changed. My opinion certainly changed, and I still can't call it. But what about you? If you had to put money on a fighter, who would it be?
I'm torn. That's what's so difficult. A bit like you, Joe. I can see Cash winning. I can see Bentley winning. That's the problem. I can see ways for both guys to win. Cash has been pretty much perfect so far. Like it's been quality. There's nothing really I've seen with him where I thought, oh, I don't really like that. I've been really impressed with Cash. So I was more shocked that Matchroom didn't get this fight. I thought they would have been behind Cash a bit more and won the purse bids, but obviously money might be tight with Matchroom at the moment with the big fights that they've got going on, and they thought it was a good opportunity for Cash. Go to BT and put his name out there.
Maybe it's a case of I think Frank Warren is really getting behind Denzel Bentley. Is one of their main guys for BT, so maybe he just really didn't want to let the fight go to Sky because it is one of his biggest fighters and biggest prospects, Denzel Bentley, and he's proved that he may do good numbers. I don't know the numbers, but obviously his fights against Mark Heffron, which were great fights, and we just see the comments coming in here. They're coming in thick and fast, so keep getting them in. Parways Khan says 6-round KO for Felix. Nixon Cash says Felix Cash wins in spectacular style. Dot Cotton, the Dot Cotton, maybe still going at about 102. Says, "Come on, Denzel. I didn't know she was a boxing fan." Richard Brown says Bentley points. Jonathan Afume says Cash KO. Mikey Bizzle says Bentley to school him. Ricky Asumu says Cash on Cash. We've got Cody Mellors, Cash stoppage round 6 to 8. And there we go. Nixon Cash, Felix Cash knockout with no more than 6. So by the looks of it, it's going to be, Shaz. I think
Shaz, that's
he
the
has
best
got it
comment.
spot on. Absolutely
Yes,
spot on. The fans
I
will win
agree.
this fight. And I hope so. I'm really... it's intrigued me for weeks, this fight. It's a fight that I've been looking forward to more than a lot of fights, actually. Even Dan McGo, I hope I pronounced that correct, says Cash, very easy fight. Parway says, I am in the UAE with friends. We are excited about this explosive fight. I couldn't agree more, Parways.
Yeah.
It's going to be an epic fight, and I can't see it going any other way, really. We may be wrong. We may see a first-round knockout and blow us all away from a certain fighter. But the general consensus is in the comments that it could be a Cash knockout or a Bentley points decision. Do you agree with those comments, Jay? Cash knockout or Bentley points, or could you see it going the opposite ways?
No, I said it earlier. I think it could either, I can only see it being a Cash stoppage or a Bentley on points. Not saying Bentley can't do it. We spoke about it earlier. We said Bentley's got 12 knockouts on his record. The guy can bang. I just like the fight. Shaz got it spot on when he said the fans winning this fight. We've had Bentley on a few times for a watch along. I was with him last week for the Liam Williams fight against Andrade.
Yeah,
he's a really nice guy. Like, he's a really top person. I spoke to him last week. He said that he ain't really got a game plan. He normally figures them out when they get in there. So depends what he's feeling. Depends. Like I say, I feel the fight determines on Cash's aggression, whether it's calculated aggression, like you say, he's really good at, or it's over aggression where his head's gone and he's walking in the shots. I think if he's calculated, his mind's on it, and the aggression, he's hitting the aggression at the right time, I think Cash will get it, like you said. But if he's coming in aggressive and he's hitting jabs and he's getting frustrated and Bentley's frustrating him, openings will open up for Bentley and we might see a different fight. So it's all down to Cash's aggression, I think, in this fight. It will win
James Locke says Bentley in 6. James Locke thinks Bentley's going to get the knockout. Bill Singh says, hard to call this one. And I think we both agree. It's such a hard fight. Chaps, great commentary, by the way. Thank you very much, Parways. We do appreciate it. Dot's back. She reckons points. And
Dot, enjoying her cigarette there.
Yeah. Finished her pint down the Queen Vic. Ready for the big fight. Bentley knockout. Khaki Green. It's dividing opinions here, which is what I love. And that's why we're fans of boxing at the end of the day. For these 50-50 fights that no one can call. Opinions are divided. People are going for knockouts in all different rounds. And they're just two undefeated middleweights with so much potential and can go on to do great things. And it's just brilliant that they've both agreed to fight each other. I know it was ordered, but they can still go their separate path. They don't have to, because I remember there was talk about Felix Cash taking the European route. And I think Cash said, no, I want this fight. I want the British title and I want Denzel Bentley, which is brilliant. So hats off to Felix Cash and his team. Khaki Green Bentley knockout,
100% agree. Like we were saying earlier about Joshua Buatsi, that Felix Cash could have took not the easy route, because the European title would have been a hard fight, but he could have avoided Bentley, like you said. But he said, no, I'm going to go. Because I think Cash's team wanted the European fight, but it was Cash that did say, I want Bentley, like you said, Joe. So that goes down to the fighter himself. Like we said earlier, fighters will fight each other. The team were trying to tell him to go down the European route. So this is what people need to realise. All fighters will fight each other. So like tennis players, they're all going to play each other, aren't they? They're not going to say, I'm not going to play Federer today because he's too good. It's a competitive sport. That's what sport is. You challenge each other. So never blame the fighters when a fight don't happen, people. I always believe that. So yeah, props to Cash for taking this fight. Props for Bentley for taking this fight. It's a win-win, innit? It's just a win-win.
And I think the only way we won't win is if Jonathan Afume's prediction comes true, with Cash a win, but Bentley on a dodgy points decision and Hearn rages. I just pray to God that there isn't no dodgy decisions tonight. I really pray to God that this fight is judged fairly, because it's just a great fight, and it'd be a shame to ruin it. And we don't want the talking point being to do with judges and referees. So pray to God that nothing like that happens and we get a great fight. James Locke, Street Kid versus Traveller Boy. Nixon Cash, I hope the ref lets these two work on the inside. That's a really good point, that Nixon, actually. They're especially Cash, let him get to work on the inside. And then, with that, if that happens and the ref allows that to happen, it could potentially be open for Bentley to have some really nice slick counter shots.
100%. This is what we were saying earlier, Joe. If Cash comes in too aggressive, then the shots are going to be there, aren't they? The jab, he likes popping the jab off Bentley. Like I said earlier, everything comes off the jab. So if Bentley can get that jab working in the first, second, maybe third round, that could be a good start. But I don't know. I can see a Cash knockout. That's the thing. I can see that, but I can see Bentley being too slick as well. I'm just so confused. It's a tough fight. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a first round knockout straight away from either fella. Just to rip the script up. We're talking here saying could be Bentley points, Cash later on, maybe stoppage, maybe just come straight out and one of these guys land a big shot or something. But no,
not many people have predicted that, Jay. Yeah, not many people have predicted that. Otto Carmen, Frank versus Eddie is certainly the case. Adds a little bit more spice to the already like bit of stick going on. We've got this story about post-spa street fighting that took place in the gym car park. We got Frank versus Eddie. We got British and Commonwealth title for good measure. We've got two great fighters. Saturday fight night. Don't get better than that, really, does it?
No, definitely not. And yeah, it is Frank versus Eddie. I see Felix Cash refuse to shake Frank Warren's hand. Do you see that?
To be fair, I don't know whether it was refusing. I think he turned pretty quick. It may have just been a mistake. I don't know whether it was. It's hard to say with that one because at first I thought, he's just.
Let's build the story, Joe. He refused.
All right, cool. He
mugged Frank off.
He heard it. He heard it. He stuck a hook in there as well. No, if we're going down that route, no, obviously no. No, in all seriousness, no, I don't know whether he did air that or whether it was a genuine mistake. Courtney Kettle, let's go, Denzel. You got this. And obviously, Denzel, friend of the channel, he was on the live stream which you was on, Jay, last week, and great interview with Felix Cash earlier on this week. So both two great guys. Great. Bill Singh says, true, I want it to be a fair fight. I like both fighters, and we both echo that, don't we, Jay?
Yeah, but let's go on the record of the last two fights. There was a knockdown that wasn't given to a Frank Warren fighter, and then there was another fighter who lost 5 of the 6 rounds, and he got the win. So going on tonight's record, or just on tonight, it ain't looking good if you want a decision or a good ref. But fingers crossed that this fight isn't like that. Cash is coming down to the ring now, people. Yeah, I'm buzzing for this one. Absolutely buzzing. And
blue and white ring gear. Yep, looks focused.
I love British title fights. I don't know about you, Joe, but I just love him. I just absolutely
fantastic
love
history.
Him. Oh yeah, definitely. And there's so many great fights. I remember watching DeGale versus Groves. That was fantastic. Like we said earlier, Dillian White versus Anthony Joshua. There's so many. You could go back further in that, but brilliant. I love it. I love that belt as well. It's one of my favourite belts.
Oh, it's a beautiful belt. An absolute beautiful belt, the British title. Ricky Amusu also says, still hoping for a fair decision after Adelaide's fight. Love the optimism. Come on. Although they do get a lot of critiques, that there are more good decisions than there are bad decisions. It's just a shame that sometimes we do get a bad decision. Nixon Cash says, I think Felix Cash is already at European level. Potentially both of these guys are already at levels higher than domestic level because they're two great fighters, and it's just a case of seeing which one's better on the night.
Yeah, like we said earlier, Joe, we said, didn't it? The loser can still come from this. They can still come back, win a world title, maybe challenge for a world title, definitely challenge for the European and maybe win that. So look, let's be real, probably depends on the way the fight goes. If one of them gets banged out in one round, it may be a bit harder. Like we said with Groves and DeGale, that was a 12-round battle, so literally there's no losers really in that one. Knockouts is a different story. So it just really goes on how the fight goes. But I still think they both got a bright future. Look at Daniel Dubois. Got basically
one fight away from Trevor Bryan, pretty much, if he beats Binu.
Exactly, from that loss, and he's in a great position now. It's all down to the promoters. That's what it's down to. If they can see an opportunity, even if you lose here, you can still go up.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I think that more fighters are doing since lockdown and the pandemic. We're seeing more great fights being made where the fighters don't necessarily have to fight each other. Look at that. Like, there's slightly different, but we see Ted Cheese versus Sam Egerton. What a fight.
Yeah.
What a fight. Two great guys. We're getting more and more fights like this. And again, if there's anything that we can take away from the pandemic that is positive, then it's great fights are being made, and it's just a shame the fans aren't there. And hopefully we'll be returning very soon. Big A says, for a pair of young, you're decent pundits. Fair play, lads. Thank you very much, Big A. We do appreciate it.
I just feel like the British board or something. These fights that they like order and that, there needs to be some sort of change. A bit like what they were saying earlier about the UFC method and that. It needs to be more stricter on who fights who. Like, what's the point of having a ranking system if you're not even going to follow it? Because you could get someone in like, do you know what I mean? Like, you get someone who's like, I don't know, 15th in the WBA or in the top 15 of the world and that could challenge the champion. Like, it's not really going to be a competitive fight, I don't believe. Like, it's just earn you right to the top. If you're 15th, fight 13th, fight number 12, fight number 10, beat them, then fight number 8, number 7. Like, this is why a lot of people get to world level and they don't win, because they just skip the levels. And you need to fight good people all the way up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Guys, the fight's about to start. Both fighters have now been announced. They're coming together. And we're about to watch it. We're about to find out who's the better fighter. We've got Denzel Bentley versus Felix Cash live on BT Sports. And for the Watchalong Pet Talk UK, smash the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button, keep the comments coming. Let us know what you think as the fight is happening. Denzel Bentley versus Felix Cash. Here we go. Bell's about to ring. We're going.
And if you want to know, people, the ref is Victor Lachlan here. He's a good solid
Victor
ref.
Lachlan.
So. Oh, Bentley's out here looking nice and right hand.
Yeah, nice right hand there.
Oh, Cash with a nice left.
Yeah, snapping left shot there from Felix Cash.
Oh, Bentley's been it. He's been rocked. Oh,
yeah.
Cash
no. Backed up in the corner. Killer instinct there.
Oh, Bentley's come with a right hand. Hold
Good
it,
shoulder
Bentley,
movement to get away from that, Bentley. Fantastic there. Good movement to get away. Recovered well. And
I don't think he has recovered well, Joe, to be honest. I don't think he has. He's trying to bounce and he don't look steady, man.
Yeah. He done well to get out of the corner, but yeah, he needs to hold or regain his legs. He look a bit more better there.
That's it. No, he's coming in with that right hand and he's getting left clean open here, Bentley.
Yeah.
By the counter right from Cash. This is looking like a good fight.
Cash counts really well.
Could be an early night here, people. Like I said.
We said earlier about Cash being calculated. It looks that way so far. Decent level of patience being shown here by Felix Cash. He knows that he's hurt Denzel Bentley a couple of times here in the first half of the opening round. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they both got hit there.
I think come on. I think Bentley here needs to start using his jab a little bit better. Sorry, I'm just don't want to say too much in case something happens because it's a great first round here. Bentley's looking a bit. What Bentley's doing is he's coming in with a looping right hand or a right uppercut, and Cash is coming in with that counter. Yeah. So what you're saying, he needs to be more wary for the counter and use some more upper body movement, Jay. I think he should be using the jab a bit more, maybe double jab and then move to the right to get away from that left hand. So double jab, move to the right, double jab again. what he's doing is he's double jabbing and going to the left, and that's where Cash is right. And again, he's just done it as I said it.
Oh,
He threw a jab and went to the left. He needs to
A
double
lot's
jab
been made
and
in
go
the
to the right.
Yeah, a lot's been made in the build-up of Bentley's jab. So hopefully he can utilise it, because we know how good Denzel Bentley's jab is. So I don't know here, but good opening round this from Felix Cash. Lovely little body shot tucking in there as he comes on the inside, gets into range. Jonathan Afume says, Cash counter-punching masterclass.
Oh, 100%, 100%. I'm not too... Bentley, when we spoke to Denzel, he said he normally figures it out when he gets in the ring. I hope now at the end of the first round he goes to his corner, and maybe... I think he's got Martin Bowers in his corner, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I hope that Martin says to him, you're going to have to get behind your jab. Just hold. Come on, fighters. There's IQ to this game. And people might moan about holding sometimes, but you can do it in a way where it's not boring, or where you can just take a break for a second, let yourself think for a second, then go again. A lot of these fighters are refusing to hold, and they're getting blasted out of there. There's nothing wrong with holding for a couple of seconds to clear your head. Boxing IQ. Look at Andrade last week against Williams. He held every time it got a little bit rough, just for himself to focus, set yourself again, and go again. Gets a bit rough again. I'll just hold, gather my thoughts. Just looking at the end of some of the clips from the first round, there's some big shots from Cash, and Cash is calculated here. He's gone the right way.
Second round. Dot Cotton says Cash in complete control that first round. She knows her boxing. Here we go.
She does. She knows her stuff here, Dot. Oh, good shot there.
Yeah. Nice jab landed. Come out. Yeah.
This is interesting now. The second round started a bit different to the first. Bentley looks a bit more aggressive.
As they both come into range, they're both landing shots now over in the opening of the second round. I think Bentley's trying to be more elusive, trying to hit and move now. But I think the way Cash is setting his stall up, he's ready to counter at all angles, and he's doing it really well. Not afraid to go down to the body, which is what I like. But there we see a lovely jab from Bentley.
Yeah, no, I agree. The thing is, I've just noticed then, what I think Bentley's doing, Bentley's throwing counter shots when they're not at a counter shot opportunity. So he's throwing the shot first. So if you watch it, he jumps in with the the right hook or the right uppercut, but he should be throwing that after Cash throws, but he's throwing before Cash. So then Cash is coming back with a counter. So I think if Denzel just pops a jab out, or maybe reacts after Cash does, I feel like Bentley's throwing the first punch too often, because he's more of a counter puncher, Bentley.
Yeah, no. Look, we see there, he lands a good uppercut there, but closer around this round, much closer round. Nice left hand landed. Oh, that's really good. Really good movement from Felix Cash. Yeah.
I don't agree with Anthony there. He says Cash should be careful, not blowing a gasket. He's put a lot. No, I think what Cash is doing, what we were saying before the fight, it was about his aggression. Was he going to be calm aggression, or was it going to be fast aggression? And he's going more of a slower paced aggression. And what he'd do is he'd step on it when he hurts the opponent, instead of going 100 miles an hour before he hurts him. So I think Cash is just playing it cool. But there you go, Bentley with a good counter shot there after Cash threw the punch. So
yeah, I like that.
I think
good movement.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, Cash lands another great shot there.
I think Bentley should wait for Cash to throw first.
It's
better from Bentley this round though, 100%.
Yeah, still a Cash round in your opinion, Jay? Or
I'd go more of an even round. The thing is, this is where boxing gets conflicted, doesn't it? Because everyone probably would admit Cash's shots look more concussive than Bentley's, but Bentley in this round has probably landed the same amount of punches. So
yeah, and Bentley's been moving a lot more. We just see the last closing seconds of the second round.
So it's what Cash's
what you like, yeah.
Cash shots probably catch your eye a bit better because it looks more hurtful. But watching it, like you say, Bentley was moving well there, and if you look at the punch output, it's probably pretty similar. So I'd say Cash first round, even second round.
Yeah, to be fair, Jay, I think I will edge it to Cash that one.
No, that's cool. No, that's fine, man.
Close round. Could have gone either way, but I just like Cash's work there. I feel like he's got a lot more cleaner shots off, but not much in it. But I'll give it 2-0 Cash.
No, that's cool. No, I can't argue with that. It's a good fight. No, I couldn't argue with that. I think I wouldn't argue with anyone if they said that. So.
Jonathan Afume says it's a point game. Cash landing the clearer punches. So he obviously thinks Cash won that second round as well. Cash won both rounds for me. I want Bentley. No, look, round 3 now. Denzel Bentley versus Felix. Cash for the British and Commonwealth middleweights title at your call.
And we know Bentley can be in a war. That first fight he had with Heffron, that was a good fight.
Pretty boy Flizzy says, have a feeling Denzel is going to get KO'd.
The thing with Denzel though, he doesn't have his hands up. You notice he doesn't have a defense. His hands are always down. That is dangerous.
Is that trying to just urge the counter? Just his whole game plan's around the counter shot for you, Jay? And is it right? Is he right to be doing that?
It could be, but Bentley's got long arms. When he extends his arms are long. I just saw a shot there that just missed Cash. He reminds me of a bit Craig Richards, their style. And Craig Richards is a great player.
Literally took the words out of my mouth there, Jay. I was just about to say Craig Richards, the way he jabbed. Very nice. Joe. Yeah. But then again, Felix Cash is going forward. I feel like Cash could be showing his strength early on here. He's on the front foot. He's not afraid.
Big hand by Cash.
Felix Cash lands a great right hand. Wow. It's not responsive. It's a round 3 KO stoppage for Felix Cash. He's the new British and Commonwealth middleweight champion, and it's the win of his career. Unbelievable scenes. Jay, what have we just watched?
I need to see it again. Just quickly. Wow, my breath's been took away there. Just because I love Denzel Bentley. I love him. So I need to see it again to see if it was stopped too early. But there was at least 3 clean shots there. Fair play, Felix.
The ref was a bit too quick, in my opinion. I need to see it again. That's why we need to see it again.
Fighters' IQ. Maybe Bentley could have gone down for a knee to take an 8-seconder. He was hurt. He was hurt. But you don't want the guy to get hurt. Felix Cash, he's got killer instinct. Here we go.
Come on.
So right hand there.
Is nice.
Solid right hand. Solid right hand.
Back on the road.
Yeah. Good stoppage.
He wasn't responding to the shots. He stayed in one position. He wasn't moving, trying to get out of it. He couldn't get out of that position. His head was taking a lot of punishment, a lot of shots, and it was that big over-the-top right hand, and it just caused the damage.
I didn't need to see Bentley take no more shots. I didn't need to see him take no more shots there. I want him to come again. When you see a fighter being able to take 3 shots like that, it wasn't like he was swinging. There was 2 or 3 shots there where Cash had Bentley's hand down and he just took 3 shots at him. And when it's like, you can't allow a fighter to just take clean shots like that. So people are always going to say the ref jumped in, but I want the fighter to be safe. And I want Bentley to come back again. And fair play, Felix Cash. You got the victory tonight, and it was a great victory.
Yeah, fantastic. Referee stop contests, round 3. And you know what? Wow, that's all I'm saying. That performance from Felix Cash there was fantastic. Jonathan Afume says, not surprised, Bentley just a punch, and that can only take you so far. Cash needs a few more fights before world level contention. EBU title next. Calling for European title. Look, it's good to see the fighters there. Cash goes over to Bentley. They embrace. Obviously, Bentley gutted here. Just lost his British title.
Bentley's a warrior. Bentley's a warrior, and I want
fantastic
him to come back,
warrior.
Bentley. Yeah.
He will come back.
I didn't want him to get hurt there because fighters go out on their shield, and he took 3 clean shots there. And we moaned about the referee earlier. Fair play. I said Victor Lachlan is a veteran, and he made a good decision there. He made a good decision. If a
Yeah,
fighter's
no.
taking clean shots like that without his, we spoke earlier that Denzel didn't have his defense up, and when a fighter's got one hand holding the other guy's hand down while he's taking clean punches at him, then he's not able to defend himself. And in boxing or fighting, it doesn't have to be a clean knockout. The referee's job's to protect the fighter, and he protected him then because he thought that he couldn't take no more, or he prevented him taking any more. So
yeah,
these guys have got a future. Do you know what I mean? We said that. Don't end the
both
guy's
fighters
career
got a
now
future.
just because you wanted to see a conclusive knockout.
It's just. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked. I remember the last time I done one of these watchalogs was for the Conor Ben Vargas fight, and I was in my state here. I was just shocked at the performance. Felix Cash, wow, and what a stable Tony Sims has got.
Who did I say who I thought David Adelaide should be trained by? Tony Sims. Do you know what I mean? Like,
fantastic trainer, fantastic stable. We look at it. Look who he's got. What a great couple of weeks for him. Obviously, Conor Ben, Felix Cash now. Brilliant, brilliant. Anthony McKenna says, neither man is world-class, domestic level at best. Time will tell. Jay, what do you think about that comment?
Well, I think he'll win the European title, Felix Cash. Well, how can we say that he's not world class? Come on, man! Like, the guy ain't even fought at world class yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, give him a break.
Exactly. Time will tell.
Like, the time will tell. Like, come on, man! Let's just all support all fighters, innit? The guys won the British title. We all love the British title. Props to Felix Cash. Do you know what I mean? He won.
Yeah, he chose to take the fight.
Yeah, props to both fighters. Shaz said before this, the fans win. And I was impressed with them 3 rounds, no matter how it went. Like, I enjoyed that fight.
Oh, fantastic fight. And even like round 2, you gave that a draw that second round. It was close. Bentley tried everything. And at the end of the day, it was Felix Cash's night. I think. Wow,
watching it back, and I think it's a good stoppage the more I watch it.
And what I love about Cash there, we're talking about being calculated, he lands 2 of those big, because there's 4 of those big overhand rights that land while he's on the ropes, at least, to Victor Lachlan stopping the fight. The first 2, he's in one position. And then, this is what I'm saying about being calculated, he slightly moves to the left, step back and sees before throwing the other 2 right hands that gradually lead to Lachlan stepping in. And for me, to show that amount of ring IQ there tells me that he's a very impressive fighter. To just that slight adjustment there could have made the whole of difference. We will never know whether it made a difference, just moving that little bit to the left. But again, accuracy and power. We see now Felix Cash and Tony Sims being interviewed. And Jay, if you just want to watch that, if that's all right, please, mate, and I'll get through some comments. Hot video. Where was Adelaide Jab tonight? Did he leave it home? Back on Adelaide. Nick G said it's a great stoppage from the ref as well. I completely agree. Base Jumper says, dude looked fragile. Can he make 154? That's very... Yeah, 154, you know, it's interesting. Nixon Cash, European next. No. Liam Williams, Felix Cash next. We'll come to that very soon. Who could Felix Cash fight next? Obviously, Denzel Bentley. Terrific effort tonight. What a warrior. What a great guy. And we're back.
Felix Cash said it wasn't as easy as what people... Like, Buncey asked him if he thought it was an easier fight than he expected. He said, no, Denzel Bentley's very awkward. And he said that after the first round... his corner told him to don't rush your work, pace yourself. So going back to the comment earlier, he wasn't trying to gas out. He was calculated. He took his time. And I agree with you, Joe. We were saying earlier that we said it depends. I thought it depended how Cash approached this fight, how the fight was going to go. And he was cool, calm and collected. Just props to him. Do you know what I mean? Props to Cash. I think he's a good fighter. I really rate him really highly. It's difficult when there's 2 fighters who I really like, so it's always difficult.
No. But to For me, it's fantastic because it's two great fighters who you like, and it just proves that was a highlight of what we love about the sport. Right there,
Yeah.
it shows us what we love about the sport. Two guys around the same level. One holds the British title, one holds the Commonwealth title. They've come together. They've made the fight, gone to purse bids. Frank Warren obviously invested some money into this fight. Didn't go his way on the night, unfortunately. Matchroom guy gets it. Felix Cash. And we could see something special here. Who's to say Felix Cash can't go all the way? Because for me, he looked really good. He did look really, really solid tonight. Just look at some of the comments. Haydar Mahmood, Cash past British level, move on to European fringe world level. Yeah, and that's where we see how again. Go on.
He's
Go on,
confirmed that
Jay.
he
What's
wants
he
the
said?
European title next. Yeah, he said he's definitely getting the European title next.
Jonathan Afume again. Eubank would be too much for Cash at the moment. I was going to talk to you about that fight a little bit later because wow, that could be an interesting fight down the line. No, you're not feeling that one. Robert Whittaker, good stoppage. Just felt early as I wanted to see more. Disappointed about that, but applauding the fighters, and that's the only thing you can do because it was a great stoppage, clinical performance from Felix Cash. Haydar Mahmood, Cash versus Williams. Come on then, let's talk about it. Opponents you would like to see Cash face, Jay? Who straight away comes to mind?
I'll just go straight for the European title. I'm not too sure he's got the European title at the moment, so I do apologise. He wants the European title. He's just said it in an interview. He could have gone for the European title before this fight. He's got the Commonwealth. He's got the British. He says he's going for all three. So I think it's definitely the British title next. We can debate who is. Williams is a different part of his career. He's at world level already. Do you know what I mean? It's not gonna. That's same with the Eubank fight. It's not that I don't think it'd be a good fight or it'd be a fight I'd like to watch. I just think they're at different stages of their career, and I don't think they'll both take it. So I wouldn't really think about that one too much because I don't think it will ever happen. It's just the European title, I guess, for Cash next.
I'm just looking here on BoxRec, Jay, for the European title holder, and it's Kamal Szeremeta. So that's a serious fighter.
Yeah,
really serious fighter.
Well, he's ready for world level then probably after that, or a world title eliminator, then a world title. So
no, definitely. If Eddie can make that fight, then by the sounds of it, he can because it was offered to him, I think, and they was going down that European level. Nixon Cash said, trust me, Felix Cash is special. Joseph Hayes says Felix Cash will be the next Carl Froch. That's interesting.
Maybe. Frank Warren's talking now, so
yeah.
I don't know. Are we saying that the referee stoppage was a good stoppage in the last fight?
Well done then. Yeah, it was a great stoppage. And may not be the best of nights of Frank Warren and his fighters. Obviously, David Adelaide, he'll come back and learn from his fight, but his controversial decision, many people say he lost that fight. And so he may come under some criticism there. One of his main prospects, heavyweight prospect, David Adelaide. And then we see a guy who obviously Frank Warren really rated and threw the dice against Felix Cash, and it didn't go his way. And sometimes it's like that in boxing. And again, that's why we love boxing. So it didn't go his way tonight. Next up, we've got Sonny Edwards for the world title against Bifalani, I think that's Frank's next show. Again, huge test for Sonny Edwards. Cannot wait for that fight.
Yeah, I'm
excited. It's a dangerous fight. Yeah, I'm sure we'll do a watch along for that one as well.
Hopefully, that'd be great.
But yeah, so we've got some good fights coming up. And as for that fight with Liam Williams,
I don't think it's going to happen.
Felix Cash, I'd agree. I can't see it happening at the moment. But what a fight it would be. If we're in Dreamland, what a fight that would be.
No, one, because Cash has got power, and two, Liam Williams has got balls like King Kong, hasn't he? So After that fight last week, he's got a chin on him. So I'm impressed by Cash by that last performance. But I feel like that every time I watch Cash. The thing is, they need to start promoting this dude because every time I watch Cash fight, I always feel, yeah, this guy could go up to a world level. But then you don't hear nothing about him until his next fight.
Yeah.
I think they need to
Activity,
start
maybe?
pushing this guy. Why not just push him a bit more? Get more out on social media. Get him out having more interviews. The only time I hear him speak is the week of the fight. Get out there on talk shows. Get out there on radio shows. It's called promotion. Self-promote if you have to. Like,
yeah, there's always space on the Pep Talk UK watch along if you if you come and see this. Yeah, come on in. That's what we're saying. Look, you could go
get out there because I feel like you probably feel the same, Joe. Every time you see him, you're really impressed. But then you don't hear about him until his next fight.
Yeah, like I remember. I can't. The first fight where I saw him live, it was on the undercard of, I think it might have been Ted Cheeseman versus Sergio Garcia, and I saw him fight, and I thought, wow, we have really got something on our hands, and maybe he's just not spoken about enough. But I don't know. With that performance, he will be spoken about, and maybe that is why Felix Cash wanted to take that fight, because he knew that if he comfortably disposed of Denzel Bentley, a British champion, a credible British champion, a fantastic boxer in his own right, then he will get the credit. And Shad says, it makes a good point, Felix Cash versus Leon Williams is mandatory next, because I believe it's true, because he never actually lost the British title, Leon Williams. Yeah, so Leon Williams will be mandatory. But again, will Cash want to take that fight? And if the British Boxing Board of Control order that fight, it looks like it'll go to purse bids again. Because obviously Leon Williams is a Queensberry fighter and Cash is a Matchroom fighter. And it's very interesting because Matchroom just won a purse bid on Williams.
Yeah.
And Queensberry just won a purse bid on Cash. So we'll see if that could be some really interesting.
I've just heard it all now, Joe, man. Frank Warren believes David Adelaide won the fight. It was a close fight. He had a smirk on his face when he first got asked the question. Do an Eddie Hearn and say, come on, man. Eddie Hearn had the balls a couple of weeks ago to say, look, judges, this ain't how I like it. It's my show, but get the result correct.
Well, Zelfa Barrett versus Kiko Martinez.
Yeah. He come out and he said, I'm not happy about it. Come on, Frank, mate. I have a lot of respect for you. I watch you all the time, listen to your interviews, watch your work. I think you're a great promoter. But come on, don't kid a kidder, mate. We all saw that tonight. We all saw what happened there. And if any... Oh, I don't know. I don't even want to say what I want to say. If he thinks that David Adelaide won that, maybe it's time for him to get out of the game, because that did not happen.
Yeah, Joseph Hayes says that's the beauty of the traditional boxer who makes the proper route of boxing. Too many fighters get hyped and promoted too early and go up and move the levels too quick. And I think with both fighters, they've been moved up very wisely. And it was just, they just crossed paths and the better man won at the end of the day. But as Shad says, look, he's only 25. Denzel Bentley's young. He's exciting. He's got an awkward style, hard to be beaten. No, so he definitely will come again. And what I do like about what Frank's doing, I know you've got the ump with Frank at the minute, Jay, but I do like. Look, we see Yard and Dubois get beaten within like 2 weeks of each other at the end of last year, and I think we can both agree that they are probably the two flagship BT fighters, that they invested the most in. And if we look at less than 6 months later, or maybe just over 6 months in Daniel Dubois' case, they're back out, which is what Frank Warren's doing really well at the minute. Some of his fighters are losing, but they're getting them back out. They ain't having long spells of inactivity, so it's important. Denzel Bentley come again, and I can't say it enough. Go on, Jay. Sorry, what were you going to say, mate?
I'll go to Frank Warren here. This is what I feel like he's doing. He's obviously with BT. He was trying to compete with Sky, which is fair enough. You got to get BT up there. I feel with Daniel Dubois and maybe Adelaide as well, he's trying to push them too quick to have like another AJ, because Eddie Hearn's got AJ. Do you know what I mean? I know Frank's got Tyson Fury, but that's like he didn't bring Tyson up. Do you know what I mean? He had Tyson when he was already a world champion. Tyson's like his own brand. Do you know what I mean? No one has Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's Tyson Fury. But I felt with Daniel Dubois, that was like his pot of gold. That's the next AJ, and he rushed him. And I feel like tonight he rushed David Adelaide. He thought, the bars took a step back here, or maybe I could push David up a bit quicker. He could be the next star. I think he's trying to look for the next star, which is it's fine. You're a promoter. That's your business. You need to find the next star. But I just feel like he's trying to compete with Eddie too much. Like I feel like he's seen certain things that Eddie's doing, and he's trying to copy that in certain ways. Same with Anthony Yard. I thought he was trying to push Anthony Yard too fast. A lot of people criticise Eddie, but Eddie does get his fighters the right sort of fights at the right sort of time. Frank kind of pushes him a little too fast. He makes great fights, but when I just heard then that he thought that Adelaide won that fight, my head's gone a little bit.
I think we've got to be careful here, though, Jay, because we're going back to the David Adelaide versus Kowalski. That I think we both did say it was good matchmaking before the fight.
No,
so,
I think it's good. I think it's no, because if he's going to push him, he's got to have this fight now. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. So
yeah,
Frank's put him in this fight, so then the next fight can be bigger. So it is good matchmaking in some sense, but he lost, but he won. If you know what I mean,
yeah.
We all wanted David Adelaide to win. Like I'm not saying that we didn't want him to win. Everyone in the comments wanted him to win. We all watched a fight. We all decided that we thought that this guy won. Doesn't mean that we don't want David Adelaide to win or push forward. But in Frank's eyes, it was a tough fight. If David gets through this fight, he can definitely fight Gorman. As we said, Sokolowski's beat Gorman twice. He's been in there with Cash Ali. He's been in there with David Price. So there's no reason for him. There's no excuse So if he puts him in with Gorman next, they say, look, he's beat Sokolowski, a good opponent. But if he put David Adelaide in there now or whatever, then people would be like, who's he fought? So I think it was a risky fight by Frank. And I think Frank thought David would probably take him out there in 1 or 2 rounds. But it was a good matchup in some sense, but it was a difficult matchup.
Yeah. No.
Because you've got to see that's where Frank wants to take him, because that's why he put him in such a hard fight. He wants his next couple of fights to be going maybe towards the British title. So that's where they're thinking.
Agree with you there, Jay. I'm kind of thinking now about what you said. That I don't know whether it's true or not. I'm just playing devil's advocate, kind of. Could there be pressure from BT? Because we both said that their flagship kind of prospects and next big things were Anthony Yard, who's now been beaten twice. Don't get me wrong, twice against 2 formidable opponents in Sergey Kovalev in Russia and Lyndon Arthur in a really close fight last year. And Daniel Dubois, who obviously will come again, but in the end, he got knocked out by Joe Joyce. Whether you say he quit or anything, we'll go. That's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. But those were the original BT Frank Warren 2 that they invested a lot into. Do you think there could be any pressure from BT to saying to Frank, look, these flagship guys, like we saw this prospect thing of like Dennis McCann, Denzel Bentley was on there. Who else was on there? I'm trying to think. Hamza Shiraz, Willie Hutchinson, who's now been beat. So do you think there is pressure from BT Sports, Jay?
There probably is, because they brought out that advert, didn't they? Or that thing they brought out the other day where it had the new up and coming stars, and like you say, like Willie Hutchinson was beat. They probably filmed that before that. I'm not too sure. Like Frank's got a lot of fighters. The young fighters, like you say, they've lost. Anthony Yard's lost a couple. I don't know the situation, because obviously with Sky now, with Eddie Hearn and DAZN, maybe BT might be the flagship for like TV boxing. Do you know what I mean? Like they might be taken over. We don't know what's going to happen with Sky, so maybe it's a good thing for BT. Fighter wise, I'm not too sure. Like he's clever, Frank. He's got Daniel Dubois, a world title eliminator. Like, Do you know what I mean? So
Off the back of a loss,
old,
yeah.
yeah, he's a wily old fox. He's got all the tricks and that. So he can make big fights still. But it's tough. It's a good question though, Joe. Very good question. I don't really know what BT think about things like boxing and that. I can only go on what I see with what Frank says and what everyone else says. So it's not going to be good. It's going to be worrying.
Yeah, no, definitely. And obviously BT actually have the rights to UFC as well, don't they? So
Yeah.
Fight Sports is a big part of the BT Sport commodity, the BT Sport brand. Obviously, we know they have Premier League and Champions League, which being realistic now, for every broadcaster, football, Premier League, Champions League is going to be their main sport. If you've got the rights, the Premier League and the Champions League, it draws in the most views. But it's interesting to see after that. And obviously, I think they pay a lot of money for the UFC. Personally, I'm not the biggest UFC fan. I just don't follow it. I'm a casual fan. I know, Jay, you are really into UFC. But I'm really interested to see that, because I see Shaz, he said about Fury. And Fury's great because he's their pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
I feel like they're potentially, I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here, BT may be trying to look for the fighters that do great numbers on a Saturday night fight night. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, that medium who they can potentially boost to their next pay-per-view star, because I know your opinions on AJ Fury. Jay, you don't think Fury will be around for much longer, whether he wins, lose, or draws against Joshua and beyond. So maybe it's just BT Sports looking ahead and trying to find their next big star, and they could be putting pressure on Frank Warren to make these big fights. But it's what we wanted. We said we wanted these fights being pushed and built. So now we're getting it. Do we regret it? Do you know?
I don't know if we regret it or not, but I don't know what other people think. And I love Frank Warren and I love Eddie Hearn. I think they're both great promoters, done great for boxing. I sometimes feel that some fighters would rather go to Eddie, but if they don't get picked from Matchroom, they go to Queensbury. And I don't want to say that in any disrespectful way or anything like that. I just feel like if they had a choice and they had the same deal on the table, Matchroom or Queensbury, I think 9 times out of 10 the fighter would go to Matchroom over Queensbury. That's my personal opinion. If it was the same deal on the table, the same amount of money, the same contract, everything, I think they would go to Matchroom over Queensbury. And I feel like Frank gets a lot of people that Eddie releases, like Callum Johnson, Charlie Edwards has gone over there and that. Great fighters in their own right, and I think they're unbelievable for BT. But I feel like Eddie is the number one that fighters would go to, and I think it's hard for Frank to then get his number one options. So say, like, I don't know, he wanted a fighter that Eddie's got. It's going to be difficult. He's going to have to try and find someone probably a level low to sign because Eddie's got the bigger name, if you know what I mean. So Frank's had to work his way up the last couple of years to get BT to where they are. So I think Frank's done a great job with BT. I'm really impressed with it. But I do feel like fighters would rather fight for Matchroom than Queensbury. And maybe Eddie's getting the first pick on the better fighters, I think, maybe. I'm not too sure. Because look at Marku. He was fighting for Queensbury. He's at Matchroom now.
Yeah, no, I think Marku fought for a few fights. He fought on the Ultimate Boxer. I think he was just keeping his options open there. Yeah, I think he was like a free, because we know he's obviously managed. Yeah, we don't know. There may not have been an offer on the table. We don't know. Oh, we're joined by Kenny. Kenny, what a pleasure it is. What a pleasure it is. You was looking forward to this fight, Kenny. What did you think of it?
You know what? I'm so angry with Denzel Bentley. I'm so upset with him. He did everything wrong. Everything we did, you done. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah. All good, Ken.
Yeah,
just listening,
everything. Mate. You know what? He reminded me of Ahara Davis. Ahara Davis. This is the same thing Ahara Davis used to do. You know, like when he fought against Josh Taylor, all movement, no hand speed. Amir Khan's another one. People generally believe that because you've got quick feet, it means your whole body's been that your whole body's is gonna make you absorb punches and avoid punches. It doesn't work like that in boxing. Accuracy always beats speed. That is the first rule of boxing. First round, he got a warning shot where he was using his movement, trying to do his feet and turn himself around the ropes. And Cash wasn't catching him clean. It buzzed him in the first round. He had a good second round. I thought Bentley won the second round. But the third round, things were going well. But when you get buzzed the first time, the first thing you do, you get buzzed. You do that, and you land on top of the person and smother the ball, and let the ref break up. And that way you absorb the punch and your head clears. You don't just like do this and carry and leave your head up like that. It's mental. It's madness.
Yeah,
Kenny,
no.
No, sorry, Jay.
Go on, Jay. No, go on, Jay.
No, I was just going to respond to what Kenny said there. Don't you feel like, as Denzel Bentley's a counter puncher, he was throwing his punches before Cash was throwing his punches? I was saying to Joe in the watch-along, he was throwing wild right hooks and right uppercuts, but they were counter shots, and he was throwing them as like the aggressive shots, and then Cash was just coming with that right hook, and Bentley was going to the wrong side. He kept going to the right instead of, no, was he going to the right? Can't remember. I think he was going to the right, and he should have been going to the left. No, should have gone to the left, and he was going to the right.
There's a thing because in the first half he caught him with the right hand in the first round. Second round, Cash couldn't find his range, and what Bentley was doing well, he was using his jab. He was using the thing that he's good at, his jab, and he double jab, caught him with the right hand, caught him with the left, and then walked out again. Second round, again, they talked to the corner, and that's when Cash cut the corner off. He cut the corner off, and when someone's cutting the corner off, that's when your hands got to go up. You either move your head. There was no head movement. Because what's happened is a lot of fighters, like especially like the Amir Khans, the O'Hara Davises, and even Tyson Fury is very good at it because Tyson Fury's going to get buzzed like that because he does that. They think that all they got to do is just turn their shoulders, move their feet, dance a bit, and then they won't get caught cleanly. But when you get caught in the right hand, especially when you're with that sort of fighter, those awkward Joes, the first thing you do when you get caught in the right hand, because he thought right, because what Denzel Bentley did wrong. First of all, he gets caught in the right hand, so he's thinking right, the left hook's got to come because that's the natural conclusion. Left foot's going to come, but Cash knew that was what he was thinking, so he expected this. He expected that he was going to leave his left hand down to break the right hand, and that Denzel Bentley was going to do this because that's what Felix Cash knew Bentley was thinking. So Bentley's left his hands down, but what happened? He said, "Oh, that's you left your head up. Whack, whack, whack." It was not like normal attack. Whack, whack, whack. It's like whack. Oh, whack, whack, and that you can't. There's no comeback with that. I don't care what anyone says. It was amateurish.
I wanted to see you in the ring tonight, Kenny. There were some shots there.
I know, but can you see what? Can you see? Because you look all right. You look at the earlier fight. You look at the earlier fight when the earlier fight, with Callum Johnson when he fought Markic. Yeah, Callum Johnson and Markic, right? First thing to do, in that rounds, right? In the first round, Callum Johnson's buzzed him with a left hook, but he walks on straight to a right hand, and then his legs go like that, spaghetti legs, and his hands go down. But what's happening, right, is that he uses his brain. He falls on top of him, keeps his hands up, and then gives himself enough time to get the pain out of his brain. And then, when he's done the dirty work, the smothering work, boom, boom, boom. Did you see in the fight that Denzel Bentley? He spent all week complaining about Felix Cash being dirty. All week, he got caught in the back head. Ref. Once that's in your head, you can't win a foot boxing match.
I also believe as well that when where Bentley's defense was so low, me and Joe were saying it in the fight that Bentley didn't really have a defense. That when he took them solid shots, his hands were too low to get up to defend because when you take a shot, it sinks all your energy. So if your hands are already here, you might be able to get them up. But if they're by your hips, when he took two clean shots, he ain't going to get his hands up to defend himself. They're too far down. And like you said, when Cash hit him with them last three shots, when I saw the replay, what a stoppage by the referee, because I did not want Bentley to get hurt. I want him to come back.
Great stoppage.
He can learn from that.
Yeah, of course. And that's the thing. He's a good fighter, and he'll learn his lesson. He'll learn his
Yeah.
lesson. He'll learn because what's happening? You got to realize one thing, right? The first rules of boxing: defend yourself at all times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At all times. If you can't defend yourself, because referees, then we can't have a situation where we had a Michael Watson about nearly 30 years ago. Fighters, the referee is there to control the ring and protect a fighter. That's his job. Regardless whether a fighter thinks, "Oh, I can carry on." Yes, you can carry on, but that's your pride speaking. You get hit.
Yeah.
You get hit flush because he wasn't, and they were on the jaw, mate. Big punches, and the extent that every punch, it was like, and then the last one, boom. Referee had no choice. Referee gave enough shot. You know what I mean?
Let's give Cash some credit though, because we're talking.
Yeah,
about
I was just about to ask you, Kenny.
Cash.
What did you think? What did you make of Cash? His performance? Do you reckon it was what? How good is Felix Cash? This is what I'm asking, really, Kenny.
Well, the thing about Felix Cash, experience, and amateur pedigree showed in that fight. Felix Cash is a very good fighter, but one thing about Felix Cash as well, he takes chances as well. And Denzel Bentley showed ways in which he can get buzzed as well by the better fighters. Because what's happened is that one thing about Felix Cash, when he runs in like that and tries to throw his bombs, someone who's got a strong stance and goes bang bang, that would give him problems. Because Bentley, when he was thinking, went bang bang and then moved out. That's that beat cross. Because what Felix Cash was doing is going like that, trying to do movement, and he was trying to basically say, right, that little room that you're looking for, I'm not giving it to you. And then what he did is a good body shots, good jabs, but he threw the right hands. And that was a very good performance. He remembers he watched a lot of Bentley's fights, because even when he fought Jeff Heffron, when he in the first fight where he got the draw, he put him down twice. There was a lot of times where he was off balance as well, when he was doing the same sort of thing, using his balance. But his second fight, he battered him with the right hand. And that's one of the things about Felix Cash. Felix Cash is boxing for a long time. He knows a fighter's weaknesses, and he uses that fighter's weaknesses and turns it into strengths. That's one of the things I do like, because you look at his fight with in his last fight at Fight Camp, because who was he fighting? He was fighting Rebond. Wellbond. He was fighting Wellbond, right? Same sort of thing, same kind of finish, where he sees an opening and he went, right, you're not getting out of this trap. I've set you. And no, because the only way you're going to get that trap is you're going to hit me hard. But what's happened is that for every jab you throw, I'm going to throw combos, and that's where Felix Cash is a very good finisher of a fight, and I think he'll go a long way. They're talking about Liam Williams next, because Liam, which I think is Felix Cash isn't ready for Liam Williams, because I think
you don't think
Liam
he's
Williams,
ready.
No, because I think what will happen is that Liam Williams will do what Denzel Bentley didn't do, i.e. Liam Williams will throw the double jab, and when he catches him, he'll do what Felix Cash would do, and he'll get him in the ring. But this time he'll keep his hands up and bob and weave and do head movement. He won't just do feet movement and just think, oh yeah, let me just do a little bit of a ballet dance. So it's a big step up for Felix Cash. But if he can get past Williams, the world's his oyster.
Oh, definitely. If he beats Williams, then we've seriously got a talent on our hands. But for me, whether he beats Williams or not, what a fight that'll be. Knowing the styles, and I know we've said it about Bentley and Cash, we thought it'd be a brilliant styles make fights, but we look at Liam Williams, comes forward, and we were saying it before, it's all about being calculated in your aggression, and I think that's one thing that Felix Cash done so well tonight. But again, Felix Cash is a great counterpuncher. That's why, for me, just off the top of my head, it's such an interesting fight. And look, Nathan says Cash was too physically strong for Bentley. Very big middleweight. He bullied him. Denzel's defense was poor tonight, and that's what Kenny Ken touched on. Said he was frustrated with Denzel Bentley's performance. But Kenny, can you? I know you say it's too early for Cash, but surely that's a great fight, Williams Cash, entertainment.
Well, yeah, it's a good fight, and you remember Frank Warren talks about it in straight after the initial. But you got to realise that Frank Warren's won a purse bid of Matchroom, and he's thinking, well, I could do it again. So So
Yeah, but
it
that could
will
be
be a good
false hope,
fight.
Kenny. That Matchroom could have just thought we'll let Queensbury have this one. We've got enough shows going on. So
Well, I think what you know what you said on we said on Wednesday when we did the show. You know,
Yeah.
that I think what's happened it's Operation
the
Safe
headache
Boxing.
Eddie don't need at the moment.
Yeah, probably not. But I think what's happened is that Frank is doing Eddie a favour, and Eddie's doing Frank a favour, where basically both of them have got a big roster, and they need to get their fighters out. And there's not. And at the end of the day, you know, you've got UFC, where British fans, younger British fans now, are being very interested in alternative sport. You know, ultimate fighting. Plus, you've got the YouTubers as well. It makes perfect business sense. So, you know, thought, right, let's have a cross promotion. You know, and that way it keeps the program going. Like, you know, we were speaking on Wednesday about you know, Eddie Earn going to Zoom. If you guys saw his interview with Kugan Cassius the next day.
Yeah. Great interview. Really good interview.
Yeah. And actually Eddie Earn, the things that Jason suggested about how he thought that Matchroom, you know, should do like the Contender Series and all these sort of documentaries.
Yeah, production-wise.
Well, he mentioned that in
the
yeah, he actually mentioned that in that interview with Kugan Cassius. So
they signed the deal the following day.
Yeah. Well, he's denied that. He says that we can't make an announcement. He actually said that Mark Coppinger, some of the things he asked him to take some stuff out that was inaccurate.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen it.
He said some of it was wrong. Sorry.
I'll tell you what was right and wrong if you want. I can figure that out straight away.
Go on, Jay.
The things that were wrong in what Mike Coppinger said, the only things that were wrong were that Anthony Joshua and Dillian White weren't part of the DAZN contract. The date was correct, 1st of July. He admitted that. Secondly, just the way he was talking about his promotion and all that, he's saying it all needs a freshen up. Like what we were saying, we're saying that Sky maybe needs a freshen up with the punditry and everything like that. He pretty much went through all that. He says it needs to freshen up. Everything needs. He pretty much said it without saying it, if you know what I mean, because he's under contract. He's breaking his contract, and he says he's going somewhere else.
For me, the thing that was so telling, very quickly, because we'll wrap it up soon, but he didn't actually deny. He could have come out and said, no, not true. But the fact that he said only some of it was not true means that he was confirming for me that he is going to the zone. And
100%.
And again, we spoke about it in depth Wednesday. So if anyone's wondering what we're talking about, go and catch Wednesday's live stream about Eddie Earn moving to the zone. But it's just exciting for boxing. And thanks for joining, Kenny, for the last parts of
Kenny's
this.
thoughts on the David Adelaide fight quickly, just for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
What he thought of the
Go on,
result.
final thoughts. David Adelaide.
A lot of people, I haven't seen your stream, but I know, you know, Peter Fury had I said the Polish guy winning. For me,
Sokolowski.
He had Sokolowski winning. I understand. I get that.
5 rounds to 1.
Yeah, I did go. But what's happened, right, is that when you fight basically the home fighter and you're coming forward, and a lot of your punches catching the guy clean. That was always going to be a situation that if Adelaide you let his hands go, which he kind of did in the last round, and caught him with the cleaner punches. Yeah. I just thought, right, if Adelaide wins that last round, I think he's going to get that fight, and that's exactly what happened.
Wow.
And personally, there was nothing in it for me to say that Sokolowski won. I can understand why people said he won because he came forward, but was he actually catching him cleanly? Really? Your punch here?
I thought he catched a few right hands.
What's that?
I thought Adelaide got buzzed a few times.
Yeah, a couple of good right hands.
Yeah, but there was the odd.
Adelaide said at the end of the fight to his corner, he went, "I've got that one, I think." Or he was asking his corner, "Did I get that one?" So he didn't even think that he won it at the end.
I think with Adelaide as well. I looked at him and I thought, yeah, it's a bit. You know that old adage in boxing: muscles don't win you fights. When I looked at his physique and I looked how much
just down the boxing ability.
Ken.
He's not very good on the back foot. It's the same as Daniel Dubois. We were talking about this during the fight.
Yeah.
Every fight he's come forward, and then it's the first fight he's been on his back foot, and he looked like he was lost of ideas.
Well, that's the thing about good fighters can go on the back foot, but at the end of the day, it's a very good hard thing to fight on your back foot. We've seen that with Deontay Wilder when Tyson Fury, both of those fights, where he struggled a lot in order to throw from the back foot. Now we all know that Deontay Wilder is more than capable because of his height and his reach to actually be on the back foot and throw punches. But it's hard when someone is coming forward like you and coming through. And I think that it's hard to be taught how to do that when you actually don't do that. When you're actually used to people going like that to you and you're basically a come forward fighter. It's a hard skill.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
And it's hard, but he didn't. But it doesn't mean he won the fight. It means it was hard. I don't think he practically won the fight. But again, it was.
I
had him 5 rounds down, Ken. So for me, I can't see how he even won it by 1 round.
I can see how he do it. But when someone asked me on Twitter, "What do you think?" I said, "Look, I don't think he's won the fight, but he's going to get the decision."
Right.
Because I didn't see. And that's the thing. Unfortunately, in boxing, especially when you get British judges who are more corrupt than the German judges, if you're on a way fighter, knock him out. Simple.
Yeah. Well, I said Billy Joe Saunders, don't worry about having a British fight because it's not going to do you no favours.
Well, Billy Joe, I think Billy Joe. I think we got. You saw at Billy Joe Saunders. We got a good cracker next week for Sonny Edwards again, fighting for the world flyweight title. Wish him all the best.
Huge week of boxing. And obviously, we got Katie Taylor versus Natasha Jonas. We've got Craig Richards versus Dimitri Bivol. We've got obviously, May 1st. We got Parker Chisora. We got Chris Eubank Jr. Marcus Morrison.
Yeah, and Marcus Morrison's unbeaten as well. No, so it's some good fights. Unfortunately, I can't. My wife's a massive boxing fan. If I do watch-alongs and put you guys before her. I'm out the door. So
no worries. Maybe join us. Maybe join us at the end of the watch along next week, Kenny, for your post fight.
I do my very best, but let's face it, man. We're expecting a 12 rounder at Bethnal Green. We only got a 3-rounder, so I spent the last hour watching Frank Warren's cash cow, Mr. Fury, go through his 154. The documentary.
But guys, Jay, it's been an absolute pleasure doing this watch along with you and Kenny. Thank you so much for managing to get away from your wife for a bit. I know she's a big boxing fan, and I hope
she's massive.
I hope you're not in the doghouse.
Let me tell you something now. I've married the right woman. I've never.
I hope to find a woman like that, Kenny.
I trust. You know what? I was like knocked for 6 when she went up to me and said, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'm a boxing fan." And she was telling me about all these fights and how she would love to go live. And then before you know it, after we had our first daughter, she's organised one of the fight, a massive fight for like Danny Williams against Audie Harrison. So, and then since then it's been like a UK tour to watch the best fights. The only place we haven't really been to is probably Sheffield, but we were going to go to Sheffield, but Kell Brook's fight got called off because Kell Brook got another injury on his shoulder this time.
Well, Kenny, with your wife, just make sure you don't get on the wrong side of her because she'll hit you with that left-right good night, my friend.
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing. She's frustrated with just as I am because, like I said, we expected a 12-rounder.
Kenny, is there a chance we could get your wife on the channel one day?
Yeah.
I'll ask. I can always ask.
Little double act. Little Mr. and Mrs. Little Mr. and Mrs. It would be absolutely brilliant.
I'll ask her if she wants to come on the channel.
Kenny's worried that she will replace him on the channel.
Kenny.
You know something. I wouldn't put it past her because the thing about it is that we're different. It's like we both of us went to Wembley and Manchester to watch Carl Froch versus George Groves. Now, I'm a Londoner. Even though George Groves is Chelsea, I'm Arsenal. My wife's supporting Carl Froch because my wife's from Leicester. So she's always been a Carl Froch fan.
Bit of rivalry. Yeah.
Yeah, so the first fight in Manchester when George Groves got robbed, I was screaming and she was cheering. And then when we're at Wembley, in Club Wembley, I was thinking that maybe Carl Froch, it was even. And then when that right hand went, my heart sank. She was in the stands going mad. But you know, I still think the best night of our lives, 100%, was the Anthony Joshua Klitschko fight in terms of like an event.
Oh wow, yeah,
best night of our lives.
Brilliant. Kenny, I've got to quickly ask you. There's been a few comments. Ray Parlour, Kenny, what's going on?
Well, basically, what it was is that Ray Parlour, you know, obviously I'm a guru, you're West Ham,
Arsenal
you're
legend.
Man United. Yeah, but what's happened is that Ray Parlour had Robbie Lyle from Arsenal Fan TV, I think, on the channel. Yeah. And they're talking about, you know, the European Super League and the protests. And then Ray Parlour, 5 minutes of conversation, started talking about, you know, the usual standard response. Oh, you guys at Arsenal Fan TV are toxic, and you get more views and make more money when Arsenal lose, and you prefer if Arsenal lose. It was very puerile, and it was not. But what's that? Because it was Ray Parlour, ex-Arsenal, Robbie from AFTV. AFTV got 1.33 million subscribers. I'm sure you guys watch Arsenal Fan TV.
Yeah, I love Robbie.
Everyone watches it.
Not for the analytics. What's that?
Yeah, no.
Big up Don Robbie, and I like to say, Ray Parlour, you're a disgrace, my friend. You're a disgrace.
Yeah,
come on, let's be for real. He was accusing Don Robbie of using Arsenal for views, but he used Robbie for views. The way he come at Don Robbie, he done that to get TalkSport views. It was disrespectful. They were on there about the European Super League, and he's attacking his livelihood. So come on, man, Ray Parlour.
I feel like in times like this, like especially for Arsenal, like whether you're Arsenal Fan TV, whether you're an Arsenal legend, when it comes to the European Super League, exactly, everyone needs to stick together. When it comes to things like that, everyone needs to stick together.
Joe, it wasn't to do about that. What it was trying to make Robbie look an idiot, and I don't care who you are in life. Treat everyone with respect.
Agree.
Yeah, he tried making him look silly, and he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, I'll have to watch it. Sorry, I missed it. Sorry, guys.
Hey, go on YouTube. Go on YouTube.
Sorry, Kim. Robbie was really good. Robbie dealt with the situation very well.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it for the next live stream, Kenny. And thanks for sharing that. And guys, thank you so much for this great live stream. If you're still on, guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, notification bell for all the watch-alongs, because we do quite a few at the moment. We're doing quite a few. And
I don't envisage you guys. I don't envisage you guys staying up on the early hours of Saturday for doing a watch along. But then again,
well, I'm up all night now, Ken. I'm watching the UFC tonight, baby.
Oh, he's a UFC fan as well.
Yeah, so I'm up, mate. The show starts at 12 o'clock. The main event starts at 3 o'clock. I won't be in bed till about 6 in the morning, 7.
Bloody hell.
I don't envy you.
Mate, they got 3 world titles, 3 world title fights. Do you know what I mean? This is what the UFC do.
Yeah.
I don't envy you, missus, man. I don't envy you.
No, right. I love
Kenny,
fighting. I love my fights.
Yeah, brilliant. Fight sports forever. Kenny, where can people find you? And one word on Felix Cash's performance to close us out.
Right, they can find me at KennyKen1972 on both Instagram and Twitter. And all I've got to say to Felix Cash, congratulations. You and Tony Sims got all your tactics spot on. Everything you said you were going to do in the build-up, you did it. You outmanned him. And you gave him no room. Respect.
Jay, same for you, my friend. Where can people find you and a word on Felix Cash tonight?
Find me on Instagram, J Alby 1989. I like to say I've enjoyed tonight, Joe. Nice to see you, Ken. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Clinical. That's it.
Right. And me, Joe Pugh on Instagram, 1309. And you can find my other YouTube channel, Boxing Features, also. And I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who watched, got involved. It's absolutely brilliant. And we plan to do plenty more of these watch-alongs. And until next time, see you soon.
See you later, guys.
See you, guys.